Clobbering time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Come get some.
It's clobbering time!
The word is given.
Clobberonimo!
Yeah. Greetings, clobberers, clobberonimos, clobberettes, clobberooskies, clobberians, clob thisers, and clob thaters. For those who do not yet clob, perhaps you will someday as soon as you learn to bang the rocks together, guys. Clobberonimo! That's the sound of clobbering time starting out on a new adventure. Yes, we achieved our 500 on YouTube, our 1,500 on everywhere else. Mission, and our 15-year mission, or our 5 years missions, whatever. And now we're about to embark on another one. It is Clobbering Times number 501, and that's on YouTube. And number 1,405. Oh, excuse me, idiot. 1,501 overall, and Clobby's Clubhouse number 134 with my wonderful First Officer Commander R.M. Briggs and the great Chief Engineer Mark D with a C. So it is. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. Before we get started, I want to say a big and heartfelt thank you. Thank you to everyone, all of you, my dear friends who joined us this afternoon. I know it's an early time, and I apologize for that, for our big celebration. So many great friends showed up for the big 15-year anniversary, 500 episodes on YouTube, 1,500 episodes overall of Blog Talk Radio and YouTube combined. And my goodness, I want to thank, of course, it goes without saying, my great buddy, well, she's just the greatest ever, my wonderful First Officer Commander R.M. Briggs for being there. You are the best. I want to thank the great Mark D with a C for being there. I'm Chief Engineer, the two special people that this show would not even be worth doing without them. Great friend, longtime great friend and fellow broadcaster extraordinaire and fellow YouTuber extraordinaire, Michael French of the Extraordinary Retro Blasting YouTube page. Again, one of the great channels out there.
Here.
And Deedishness. The great Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Yeah.
My great buddy, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, also joined us. Let's see. The great Stone Loki.
Yeah.
My amazing friend. Our good buddy, that 70s rock fan, also joined us. Probably someone I'm forgetting.
J-Man and Sean, they were
J-Man
at the
and
movies.
Sean. Yeah, but they popped in to say hello for a cameo. Great J-Man and great Sean. I'm a good buddy, so I'll get to see tomorrow night. And all of you who are in the chat, great Chris Persia, and so many of you who will be shouting out in a little bit, and whoever was there, and of course we'll shout out everyone who can make it or not in a minute anyway. But thank you. It means the world to me that you all showed up. It was fantastic. I'll never forget it. And well, we'll do it again when I get to 2000, I guess. When I get to 2000, that'll be 1,000. That's gonna feel weird because see, kind of feels 500 and 1,500. But then, and I'm no mathematician, but 500 episodes down the road. And again, I'm no good at math, so I could be getting it wrong. I need Jill here for that, right? I got that. And Jill popped in earlier. Thank you, Jill. Yeah, it'll be 2,000. It'll be 1,000 on YouTube, and it'll be 2,000. My head's gonna explode. Never mind. I hate math. So. Anyway, before I get started, we're gonna we're here for the clubhouse tonight. I'm gonna turn over the floor to my wonderful First Officer Commander R.M. Briggs, and let her do her usual intros. So go for it.
Well, happy anniversary. I want to sing that Flintstone song to you. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. I love you, and I'm so happy that you decided to jump into this and to do this with all of us. So 1,501 and 1,509 million more. I just really love you, and I just want you to know that on behalf of everyone who comes to Clobberin Times, how much you mean to all of us as a friend. You are a wonderful man, and we just love you. You are a great Southern gentleman. Good evening. Hail to the chat. It is Clobby's Clubhouse on Clobberin Times. I'm so excited because tonight we're going to talk a little bit about Blake 7. We're going to talk a little bit about Kolchak, and we might talk about the Star Trek Unlimited comic, but that remains to be seen. We'll see if we can get to that. Clobby has been streaming all day. I would like to give a shout out to our wrenches. Thank you so much for being here and for helping to herd the cats. We always need your help on this side of the stream and in the chat. So thank you so much, wrenches. You the best, babies. I also want to give a special shout out to our great friend, Lord Thoth. What a sweetheart of a man. Another Southern gentleman, a guy who I just love, Larry, Eric K, Chris Persia. What a guy. I just absolutely love Chris Persia. If you were ever looking for a loyal, loving, brilliant, talented friend, he's definitely that guy. I also want to thank my buddy Wagner, and of course, Wes Cagle and Lisa. And this is a little list that I put together of folks who are going out of their way to build up Clobby's channel by talking about it, by being really open with people on social media and saying, hey, why don't you come by and visit? Come hang out with us. And that's a pretty special thing to do. So I just want to thank you for that. I love you very much. I want to send out some extra love for Chris Persia's father, prayers and love for him, as well as our buddy Enigmatic Drop Bear. I love you so much, Enigmatic Drop Bear. So I'm just sending you love. And if you pray, could you send out some prayers for Enigmatic Drop Bear and Philip Story's mother-in-law? These are three human beings who we care a lot about, and they could use your love. Just good vibrations, a little note, a nice thought, lighting a candle, saying a prayer, however you do that, because you know what? Your love works no matter how you choose to deliver it. Love works. Positivity works. I also want to thank my buddy Scuba Pete, my buddy JT Kirk, and a massive thank you going out to Michael Beacom for getting out to all of these places that are vending my books and talking to people about what they thought about the books. I mean, these are three really intelligent people, and for them to take time out of their day to go to these bookstores and to leave these comments, it's just, it goes straight to my heart. And so I just want to say thank you very much. Folks, I'm in the process right now of publishing my second book, Science Fiction Tales Volume 2. Right now, the publisher, Amazon, doesn't really want to put the alien that is on the front cover, and you will see it soon. The
Is it too
alien.
scary?
And no, they don't want it up in the corner on the trim line. So I have to find
Oh, it's more of a printing issue, not a content issue.
exactly. So I have to convince them that it's okay because I ordered the proof and it looks dead sexy. It's gorgeous. So I just have to find a way of letting them pass it, and then we're good to go. And I hope if you like science fiction, if you like a short story, if you like classic episodic science fiction that doesn't have any activism, that isn't written by an activist who's trying to admonish you, you might like my stuff, because that's all I write about. I just want to have some fun with you. I want to have a conversation with you, in the classic science fiction sense. So pick up my stories if you'd like. But for right now, I would like to say thank you to all of the people who backed Science Fiction Tales Volume 2. I have two big backers, two of the sweetest guys in the world, and I really could not have published the book without their help. So I just want to say thank you to Larry, and my good friend Tony Stark for stepping up to the plate and not only convincing me to go on Patreon, especially by telling me, hey, did you know Andy Weir was on Patreon? Go on Patreon. But your generosity, your friendship, and your readership, it really means a lot to me. So thank you, Larry, and thank you, Tony Stark. But they didn't do it alone. It takes a village. And so I just want to say thanks to Sean Carter, Penny Lane, Shoota, Gwagnar, Dave, Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie Pete, Eric Kane, his trusty dusty dog Kirby, Enigmatic Dropper, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with the C, Anti-Derivative Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Kirk, he is Kirok, legally. Don't forget to call him Kirok. Dadman and the Dadman clan, Lord and Lady Thoth, and of course Lance. And Lance is our very own Porthos. That is correct. We have our very own Porthos. Don't forget to chuck some cheese in the chat for Lance, and don't let Lord Thoth know you're doing it. I also want to thank my buddy Rob Altus, Tyler, Jeff Wyatt, Rod Thunderheart, my guitar playing buddy Mazarus, and Wes Cagle. Thank you for backing this book. And I also want to give a special shout out to Gil Bavel, Cardinal Sin, who not only backed me from the beginning in my first book, but my second book as well before he passed away. So this book is on the way, folks. I promised you a book in a year. I delivered in a year. But this publishing stuff, it takes a little while. So I'm going to have it in your hands as soon as possible. And I just want to thank you all for everything that you've done for me. There is no way I could have done this without you. Thank you for telling me to go on Patreon. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for reading my stories. Thank you for being my friends. Thank you for being my corporation and my publishing machine. You are all outstanding human beings, and I love you very much. And now I'm just going to wave to my good buddy Mark, who better not have burnt the chicken as he was grilling and streaming.
It came
all
out
day.
Great. Thank you.
And just lean over and give a little smooch to the captain's cheek without anybody looking, because there's no smooching the boss on the bridge, right?
Yeah, it's a violation of protocol.
It's a violation of protocol. So with that, let's get it on. Let's do it.
Just the star of a ship's captain. Well. Thank you so much. Number one, love you. Mark, anything to say before I get started?
Well, it just was a lot of fun hanging out with you today. Well deserved on
Thank
your
you.
500th YouTube stream, and again, congratulations and thanks to everyone who supported you and your channel to keep the lights on here. So I'm glad we have such a fun spot to hang out here and talk about all these things that we love so much. And spoiler alert, it might be a good episode of Blake seven tonight. Maybe, right? What do you
Can't
think?
contain yourself, can you?
I can't. No, it's so damn good.
Well, that's good.
Go to the agony booth. We'll call you when we're ready. Go. Just go.
Okay, I'm going.
Let's see. Let's show notice and shout outs. Again, I reiterate, thank you all so much for being here with us earlier tonight to celebrate 1,500 episodes in 15 years and 500 on YouTube. You're all too kind. Thank you for everyone who was able to be there. And thanks to the great D. Bud Martin. Had a great time with him last night, by the way, hanging out with that great gentleman. Let's see. Tomorrow, but thanks to the great Tom Connors, by the way, for having me on the show tonight. As always, great fun over there. Tomorrow night on the great J-Man's channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Fantastic Fridays. J-Man show, the great Decepticon, Sean, and myself continue our ongoing mission of reviewing Jack King Kirby's legendary run on the world's greatest comic magazine. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Fantastic Four 1 through 102 and annuals 1 through 6. We are having a blast bringing that to you. We do 4 issues a week, of course, and it's just so much fun. Hail to the king, baby. And then, of course, later that night on my good buddy Nick Wise's channel, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, the great aforementioned D-Bud Martin joins Nick, myself, and the Friday Night Comic Shop boys to continue reviewing some classic John Romita issues of The Amazing Spider-Man, issues 53 through 56. And then Saturday night, my wonderful first officer and I continue our ongoing mission to review all of Trek 66 through 05, the 735 Club, beginning season 7 of Star Trekkle Ridger of the Way or something. Voyager, yeah.
Awesome.
4 more scintillating episodes of that fine show that my buddy Tex really loves. And Wes Cagle also really loves. Sorry. And Gwagnar really loves. Just kidding. And then, of course, end your Week in Geek on the great Mark D with the C's Sunday Night Geekery on his extraordinary channel, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, beware the geekery on that very same channel because you could get hungry.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll be back next week on J-Man's channel for Legion of Superheroes Mondays, three Mondays out of the month. J-Man and I review, J-Man, Sean, and I reviewing all of Legion of Superheroes 1958 to 1989 in chronological order, all of their adventures, and all, of course, the rest of the shows throughout the remainder of the week. Now, shout out our great wrenches as we start this journey anew. At 501-1501 hike. The great Eric K. the Bronze Wrencher, Vindicator Wrench of the Great White North. Chris Persia, shout out to your dad, buddy. Hope he's doing better. The great D-Bud Martin, the extraordinary Lord Thoth, God of the Wrenches. Avon lives, long live the Legion. The great buddy J-Man, partner in crime on Earth B, and Legion, fantastic Legionnaire extraordinaire. A Maximum Redstone, our music meister. Fanty Outside, the rascally wrencher. Larry, our triple bullwinkle wrench. Maddie's daddy, Thor in Vegas, and Kal-El the super wrench. And let's see who is here up in here with us in the chat. I'm running all the way back, so I can't see anyone who newly popped in, but you're going to get shouted out right now. Of course, Stark of Iron became a member earlier. I want to thank Tony Stark, our good buddy,
Right,
for becoming a member.
That Tony is such a sweet person. That's his real first name, by the way, so it's okay if you call him Tony, but he is such a sweet person, and I'm so happy that he became a member here. He's so creative, he's so kind, and he has been so good to me. I'm just thrilled that he's here and that he's become a member. Right on, Tony. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tony. Good to have you, buddy. FKHC says he's hanging out. He's got a day off tomorrow. Let's go. So he might listen for a while. If you're listening, Tim, thanks for always being here, Tim. So we always appreciate it. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Tim.
J-Man's, he comes over to J-Man's channel and watches all of our comic streams, and he's always here. What a great friend of the show you have been, FKHC 2005, and I wanted to single you out there, buddy. Tim, I always appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Joe Dog, buddy, another guy's become a real good friend of the show. Joe Dog, and he's a friend of J-Man's channel stuff. A young man who has great taste in comics because I'm biased because we like a lot of the same comics. Joe Dog, Good to see you. Penny's here. Hey, Penny. Good to see you, dear.
And to anyone who may have been, grumpy or just unkind, or maybe it's just something that didn't work, like maybe the drawer stuck in the kitchen. Just for Penny, for all of those situations, I would just like to say, on behalf of Penny,
Indeediousness. Also, of course, 1701 Tex, the great friend, a longtime friend, buddy. Always good to see you there, brother. It makes me happy to see you when you're able to hang out, bro. The tetrarch of apathy, buddy.
So apathetic.
JT Kirk was a man.
He is Kirok.
He is Kirok.
Legally cross the border into Michigan. Find him, Kirok.
Kirok. Kitty Chow, roll that tide, brother.
Roll tide.
Gwagnar's here.
Gwagnar.
Indeediousness. Wagnar, always a pleasure, brother. Appreciate everything you do. Let's see.
Without him, I wouldn't be in the Legion.
You know something? And I've been thinking, it should be a tradition when you cross a certain threshold. And Gragnar, if you could feel free to refuse this, but I think it's time we knighted another friend as a wrench. If he'll accept this, Gragnar, he can just tell me not to do it, and I won't. But I hereby knight you.
Yes.
A moderator, a wrench, and that is my sword touching each one of your shoulders, my friend, as king and captain of CLOBBERIN times. You, Gwagnar, I wrench thee.
Congratulations.
I hope that's okay. I can only, if you don't like it, I can take it off there because I did it without your permission. But I just wanted to promote someone today. So
love you, Gwaggy.
Is he all right with that? He didn't get mad at me, did he?
No, I don't think he would get mad at you. He would bow out politely if he didn't want it, but he probably doesn't mind at all.
I could unwrench him if he wasn't.
No.
Let's see. Ravenscroft, my good friend. Now, Ravenscroft, that is one of the nicest things anyone's ever said, and I wanted to thank you for that.
What? I missed it.
It just said, "Happy anniversary, Clobby. Most fun I've ever had on YouTube." Thanks.
Yay.
That means the world to me, my friend.
Very nice.
JT Kirk, Wagner. What to say? What to say? Oh. Glory to you and your
glory
house.
Must be glory.
Oh.
Glory.
Means
It means
glory.
Yes.
Damn autocorrect.
But it works if you're a true Klingon, right? Glory to you and your house.
And your house. Thank you so much, JT Kirk, buddy. I appreciate you. And Kirok, but I was trying to find him. Where is he? Trying to find where's JT in the chat?
He's there, yeah, isn't he? I see it.
He's right there. He
He's
just
got a
popped in at
super chat.
31 minutes past the hour.
No, I'm
He's
trying
like,
to find him in my chat.
LLAP. I meant glory. Yes. Damn autocorrect.
Oh, okay. Did he? Oh, okay.
Dadman and I were talking about this today, and I would like to nominate it to be called auto presumptuousness.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's what it is now.
Well, I want to do something presumptuous to the great JT Kirk. He's been a great friend for a long time, and he too shall be a knight of the CLOBBERIN time order.
Welcome.
Yes.
Wow, you're getting generous and with all these.
Dun, dun, dun,
dun. Awesome.
Jay, I trust these guys. They're good friends. So, let's see. Who else is here with us? Ravenscroft, thank you for that. You're too kind. Thank you so much. Claude Saling, good to see you, my friend. Claude Saling, another good friend of the show. Stephen Mack. Good evening. Mack. Let's see. Adrian James, my friend. Good to see you.
Adrian.
Popped in earlier. Pop Culture Republic. Hello there. Thank you so much.
Pop. Oh, you
Good
got
to
a
see you,
gift from
Pop.
Maximum Redstone, and he wants Mr. Plinkett. Mr. Plinkett.
Buck, Barman, Buck, Barman, would you like some pizza rolls? I'm not gonna send Rick Berman pizza rolls. He makes it up money and buy them for himself. Oh. Sorry, but that's not that was a sloppy one. Sorry about that, Maxie. Let's see who else is up in here. I got to run this thing back a little bit. I don't want to miss anybody. Thank you, Max. By the way, appreciate you, buddy.
You know, as you're doing that, I'm checking my StreamYard from my streams. It says my Blake 7 watch party ended 54 years and 157 days ago. I think that's a glitch on YouTube.
Wow,
stream ended 54 years and
54 years, huh? No kidding.
Yeah, where the hell is that coming from? 157 days ago.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's something. Jeez. Wow.
Talk about time travel. Where's Captain Infinity? I mean, like, was Blake 7 out? Oh, it was out by then, but yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy.
Mom.
Let's see here. I had to run my chat back. I don't want to miss anybody. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I get to finish this up so we'll get to our review. Mars Monkey Max, MMM, good to see you.
Mars Monkey Max.
This thing's way back. So let me move this along. Could not be reached for further comment. Thanks again. It was great to see you there earlier today.
Hello.
DJ Play Nice. Hey there. Yes. DJ, good to see you. SB4H, hello.
Evening.
The great West Kegel, what's up?
Yes.
Good to see you, my friend.
The West is the best. The door is
Idiotishness. It just as well I don't tune into Voyager. He says you guys would be stuck with me being both Statler and Wardell. Dude, you would love. I know you don't have a computer access when we're on Voyager. Trust me, you haven't lived until you've heard Raquel review a Voyager episode. You think you're bad? Hey, yeah.
Clubby believes that when you and I meet, that the world might end. Like that.
I'm not going to let you two meet. I'm not letting the two of you meet. It'll destroy the universe. So, but anyway, yeah.
Love you, Tex.
If you want to hear pure evil, go listen to Raquel review a Voyager episode. Oh man, it's too fun, too much fun. We love it. All right, let's see. I think I almost have. Hey, look, J-Man's here. What's up, buddy?
J-Man's here.
J-Man.
Two people.
How was the movie, J-Man?
Oh, don't ask him that. He's gonna make a video. So
he will. Don't make him spill the beans. But two
Sean made a
important
video.
people just walks through the door.
Well, I haven't got to everybody yet, but go ahead.
It's the great Southern gentleman, Brogu, mwah, 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 and
Brogu.
Ooby Dooby, break out the tequila.
Brogu from my old hometown, welcome, and of course, Ooby Dooby, Herc. Good to see you. Let's see.
Video is already up, Jay. Are you serious?
Okay, yeah, and then Sean got a car video like right after. I know he's put one up. I didn't get a chance to see it yet. Ravenscross said, "You're very welcome, Clobby. Your stream makes me feel like the whole world has not lost its mind and helps foster a wonderful sense of community." Well, I'm speechless on that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, that's a very, very.
That's very nice of you to say that.
J-Man,
thank you.
I will share that video when we're done this stream.
Streaming was messed up for me the other day. It said my stream was 24 hours late. Wow.
Oh,
But
dear.
like JT says, 54 hours, 54 years, that's a lot of watch hours.
I just posted it to Twitter. Everyone wants to laugh at it.
Yeah. Coolness. Well, what do you say we get started on our beeswax tonight? For those who don't know, on the Clubhouse these days, we always review things on the Clubhouse, and we're having some fun. Tonight we have oops, it's wrong one. We have on the Clubhouse tonight, folks, a Blake 7 episode and a Cold Jack the Night Soccer episode. And who knows? Did you ever read that comic, Mark, or no?
I didn't yet, but I can read it.
That's right. No, we might push it off so we can reread. It's been so weeks since we've read it now, but we'll see. Don't you think it'd be better to bone up on it, read it again over over again, Raquel, for next week or what?
I believe so, sir. We've had a lot of important events. You hit a major milestone and you have been streaming all day, and I'd like to get you out of that chair. Although I know you're looking forward to a few hours here and hang out with us. I'd like to get you out of the chair. And Eric graduated from university. So, you know, sometimes things have to get pushed back. So why don't we come in fresh as a daisy, so fresh you could slap it next week.
Indeed. J-Man, be good, brother. Good. Wait to see you tomorrow. Yeah, we'll do it. Yes, we'll live. It's still hurry. So it's our shows for this thing. So.
J-Man, why are you making? You're teaching them so many Canadianisms. We've got to teach them one at a time. Like Mark now says, that's a gooder. But I like that you just dropped a Canadianism in the chat. That's hysterical. I have not seen anyone say that on the internet yet. That's just something we say. I've never actually seen it in print before. Okay, everybody, we gotta make like a baby and head out.
Here's J-Man's link to his Furiosa video. So watch it after the show's over. Yeah,
everyone go watch J-Man's review of Furiosa if you want to see what he thought of the new movie, Mad Max.
Just not now.
That's a movie called Mad Maxine Furiosa something or other. So,
he says the title is Furiosa was awesome. Is that the name of the movie?
That's the name of his review. He means that Furiosa sucks, but he's trying to, so like clickbait.
It's opposite day.
I like that Michael got Michael French got all offended by the new name of it because he's so old school, and he was like, "You made Mad Max."
Yeah,
that was great today when he did that. It made me laugh. Loved it.
What does Mad Max have to do with it? So,
yeah.
Wes Cagle says you haven't lived until you've listened to Raquel try to navigate through the grammatical dumpster fire that is Wikipedia's summary of Voyager episode. Yeah.
Love you, Wes.
True. Well done. Well said, Wes. All right. So, Marco, we have
all right, you want to get the slideshow going? Yep.
When you be's ready, sir. When you ready.
Roll it.
Okay. So while he's doing that, I'm going to introduce Clobby. You have reached the Blake 7 segment, and it's going to be exciting and wonderful. Tonight, we're going to be discussing Aftermath. This is season 3, episode 1, or season C, as they like to call it across the pond. This first aired on January 7th, 1980, and now the biggest Blake 7 fan in the entire universe is going to give us a summary of this marvelous episode. This kicks butt on anything you will read on the internet, because sometimes he just goes off and we get to talk about all of the things that he loved about the episode. So it's wonderful. Sit back, grab yourself a cup of tea and a little cookie, and let's do it. We're gonna have a great time tonight.
Thank you so much, number one. All right. Well, let's see here. Again, Blake 7, episode 27 overall, but it's like I said, it's season C, number 1. Aftermath comes science, then English, then social studies. No, they don't have that anymore. Sorry. Phys ed. We're going to go with math. I usually don't love math, but I love it tonight because it's aftermath. Not if we were in the math, I wouldn't like it. We're after it. So, okie dokie. Little recap. Of course, as you all know, things have been building up to this episode over the course of season 2, and the search for Star 1, originally known as Federation Computer Control, culminated in the episode previous to us, the season finale of season 2, which is entitled Series C. I'm sorry, Max. I apologize. Not season. Series. I was so un-British of me. Max is being very much more Britishy than I am.
I got it wrong also. Also.
Well, but Max is here to take up the slacks. So, and hopefully he's wearing slacks. So anyway, let's see. Star 1 was found by Blake and the crew, also by Travis, and also by an alien invasion force from the Andromeda Galaxy called the Kelvin. Just kidding, they weren't the Kelvins. So, but a bunch of squishy, squashy, blobby aliens that could take human form. So it turns out that, of course, in retaking Star One, it is learned that many, many years hence, or previously, sorry, I'm worse than Wikipedia. Many years previously, there was a antimatter defense zone of hundreds and hundreds of satellites put out there by, well, we think the Federation. No one, again, a lot of things aren't necessarily fully explained, but to protect the outer rim of Federation space, or of our galaxy, as if you will, from, we don't know, do we? But we find out because there's an alien invasion force that wants to take down Star One to open up every zone of this defense grid, and they've made a deal with Travis to do so. And as Blake and crew go down to thinking they're just going to take over Star One, they find out about the aliens, and Blake realizes that they can't destroy Star One because they're going to need it to defend humanity and the galaxy at large from this alien attack force of over 600 ships. Okay, so as they're fighting with Travis and the aliens down on Star One, Jenna and Villa Liberator discover the ships coming they're coming to the defense zone, and in the explosion on Star One, there was an explosion at the Star One complex. It didn't destroy everything yet, but it caused the aliens opened one of the I guess 4 or 5 grids of the defense zone. So the aliens were able to come through a little opening in the zone. In the meantime, of course, Jenna had sent off a warning to the Federation, to Serverland at the Space Command headquarters, to alert and tell them what's coming. And Serverland, of course, scrambled all of the battle fleets of the Federation to go meet this threat. In the meantime, the Liberators are dedicated to holding the position to as much as they possibly can with their superior spaceship, though outnumbered they would be, to protect the galaxy until help would arrive. And that was where you are when this episode opens up. We find out early on that, of course, the space battle is being waged. We don't get to see much of that. We just assume that it's going on. Liberator takes heavy damage, and the crew must evacuate. That's how Aftermath begins. And in Aftermath, let's see, we hear that Blake has been put aboard one of these life rockets, as has Jenna, but of course we don't see them. Avon, Callie, and Villa, and Orac all escape in individual life rockets themselves. But because Avon is injured, he is put into a life rocket by Villa, and they put Orac in there so he could control the life rocket. And then we assume that Villa and Callie are also able to escape in the life rockets, but we don't know because we don't see them anymore for this episode. Spoiler alert. Not a spoiler alert. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the spoiler thingy. Supposed to put the spoiler thingy, aren't I?
Yeah.
Damn it. Oh, now
there we go. Damn it, Mark. Sure, remember that.
Mark. Yeah, Mark. Jesus Christ.
Come on.
So here we go. I love this. I love all this stuff. I only have one pair of hands, Villa's funny when he doesn't want to be. So Avon lands on the planet called Saren. And of course, he's very weak at the time. In the meantime, while we see him land, a couple of Federation officers also land. One of them played by the Richard Franklin, longtime star on John Pertwee's era of Doctor Who played Mike Yates. He and another officer land, and of course, there are a couple of prissy Federation upper staff wienerheads who aren't warriors or fighters. They're easily dispatched by the Saren warriors, who are primitive on horseback. They killed Mike Yates exactly. They killed poor old Mike Yates. But in this, he's a Federation tough. Mike Yates would have given a fight. He's not himself. Anyway, they get the triple of wiener, but that was pathetic how they got. But again, but I've always liked to cite this as an example of the great writing on Blake 7. If you take a nothing scene like this, if they were like people like to make jokes about security guys in Star Trek or whatever, they just get blown away and they have no personality. These guys talk for a grand total of maybe 2 minutes, and you once they talk, you know these are two human beings.
Yep.
And then when they get slaughtered, you feel that scene so much more. So much more. You're like, oh, it kind of, it has a sting to it because they're like two, you know, decent enough. I know they're federations. They're federation, but they're still human beings, and they're getting like massacred by these crap guys with swords. And I think it resonates with you more, the drama of that and the horror of, you know, this murder. Anyway, that's just me.
I didn't clip it yet, but one line: the first trooper. How does it feel to have made history?
Very
Second
painful,
trooper. Very painful, sir. But just like you're right, it adds color or character to these actors. You know,
Right.
delivering their lines. They're not just cardboard cutouts.
That's why they're so good at writing on this show. Even just a 2 seconds, like a few lines exchange could make characters feel real. And then they die, you feel it when they die because like those are still human
You care
beings.
about them.
You care about them. I mean, I feel bad for them.
because the author cared about you.
That's something that's talented writers right there. Good drama writers.
Yeah.
So the Sarens basically move on. We of course we find out that Servalan has crash landed as well, all by herself because she was dumb enough to take a ship out there to preen out in there because she's the well, she explains it to Avon later. I'll get to that later. So she's trying to call for help. She's on the planet by herself. Saren looks pretty dangerous. And then Avon's craft is discovered by the Saren after he gets out of it. He's pretty weak. He gets attacked. He's still not himself. So he's about to be killed by one of the Sarens when an arrow goes right through him. And we meet our new cast member, Dana Mellenby, played by the lovely Josetti Simon. And she turns out to be not like the Saren at all, although she's using primitive weapons like bow and arrow. So she saves Avon, and I guess she's got pretty strong, so she's able to pull him to this little hideout she has. Avon wakes up. They meet. Ezra Goldstein, welcome, my friend. Shalom.
Shalom.
And they wake up. That was a pretty fun line right there too. When he kisses him. He goes, "What was that for?" It's just curiosity. I'm all for healthy curiosity. I hope yours isn't satisfied too easily. It's like even like that. It's Avon being the Avon. And so
that was an unwelcome kiss, though, right? Was that there was no and
No.
modern stuff? Yeah, there was no.
when it's a pretty woman and you're a man, that's never unwelcome because you're a man. That's what not to a real man. And are you saying Avon's not a real man?
Oh God, I would never say that. I don't want to be in trouble with him. Yeah, but
So-
that
Never
helped
gonna get out
cure
of
his
the
headache,
agony
though.
booth.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
It did
No,
cure his headache.
it did. I think you cured my headache. So yeah.
Imagine being kissed to the point where it cures a concussion.
Well, she did say you are very beautiful, Avon. And so are you. There he is, my old boy. That's my boy, Mike Yates, right there. The guy on the left. That's from Doctor Who, a beloved Doctor Who actor, making a very tiny appearance on Blake 7. But again, they were just likable schmucks, you know. You're like, wow. You're watching it if you realize for the first time, and you're going, oh man, I hope they're going to be okay. And then 2 seconds later, they're just killed. It's like, wow. Absolutely. And it feels it because, like, wow, waste of life. Horrible. So Avon basically asks Dana to bring him back to the capsule so he can get Orak, because she tells him about herself a little bit, that she is, of course, her and her father, Hal Mellenby, are living on this planet, have been living there all of her life. She, of course, loves to hunt. She loves nature. She loves to use all the primitive weapons. She just, she likes the primitive weapons because when you fight, there's more of a challenge, and like the Avon says, more dangerous. Of course, without danger, there's no pleasure. That must limit your pleasures a bit. So,
I got that one.
Oh, you clipped it.
Without danger, there's no pleasure.
That must limit your range of pleasures a bit.
Yeah, I know. I could tell which ones you're going to clip. We're on the same page that way.
But that's a gooder. That's a
It's a
gooder.
gooder. That's a
For
gooder.
sure. Yep.
So they go back. She watches this back. He gets Orak, and then he gets attacked, and he gets in a fight and takes the guy and kicks the guy's ass, and then she's just gonna kill the son of a bitch. Good night, Tex. Take it easy, bro. Thanks for being here.
Take care,
Tex, good night, sweetheart.
And I love the scene when he goes, leave her. He says, leave him. He's no danger now. Leave him. She goes, but he goes, she wants to kill him. The guy's already been taken down because even Avon, he won't let her just kill the guy for no reason. And is that Blake rubbing off on him? I don't think so. He wouldn't kill a guy in cold blood. That's what it is. Even Avon would not kill someone in cold blood. Dana has no such compunction. But when he says he actually just met her, and he's giving her orders. I love Avon. He just doesn't get leave it. He's of no danger now. Leave it. Because if the situation reversed, he'd kill you. His friends might still manage it. Leave it. So they leave, and she said, I should have killed him. I always wondered that scene. Who's she talking about? Avon or the guy on the floor?
Yeah.
I should have killed him, she says.
I think a little bit of Blake has rubbed off on him, but we'll talk about that after.
Yeah, but I think I just don't think he would ever kill an unarmed, someone in a
unarmed man. Yeah.
He would not kill in cold blood. I mean, he'll kill the hell out of you if you're trying to kill him. But
Yeah, but he openly says that you should avoid even harming another person if whenever possible. I mean, he openly says that. So
now, in a certain situation, strategically speaking, in The Keeper, when he thought he had Travis's ship dead to rights, he even said, I have no objection to shooting him in the back. But that's Travis. And that's
but he's a mass murderer.
Right. Not only that, it makes good sense to do it. Like Avon, really, there were a couple times when Blake could have killed Travis and he didn't. Avon said, why don't we kill him now? Remember in Hostage? And that's different, though. It's Travis. This guy's some schmuck, little savage. So we, Avon, you'll see, Dana goes out to the sea to, it goes out, leaves Avon there hidden so she can go get the entrance to their domicile. In the meantime, sneaking up on him from behind is Servalan. And one of my favorite exchanges of them all, of course, when she's got the gun, says, be quite still. Servalan, you don't seem surprised. Why should I be? Our meeting here is the most unlikely event, therefore it happens. Surprise seems inappropriate somehow. He's so cool. He's not surprised one bit. Then, of course, you have that really cool, meet between the two when, he said, give me the gun. She says, why should I? She says, how about an arrow through the back of the head? If she fires, I will still shoot you. He says, it's out of my hands now.
Yeah.
So the gun was not loaded, but even Avon said after when she tried to use the unloaded gun bluff, he says, it's a great pity we've always been on different sides, Sutherland. So they go down, they find out that, of course, Dana and her father live in a spaceship on the seabed that landed there many years ago when she was a baby. She's been living on the planet ever since, along with their adopted daughter, Lauren. And they, let's see how they, Avon meets Hal Mellenby. Dana takes Servalan to get a change of clothing and all that stuff. So they have a couple of conversations. We find out that Hal Mellenby, of course, is blind. He has like a radar sense thing he wears on his shirt. And it turns out that he was leading some resistance group and was interrogated. She came to power some years after Mellenby's Servalan came to power years after Mellenby had left, but they basically, caused his blindness. They tortured him or whatever, but he was able to save Dana, so he took her to live on that planet. And so it turns out that Servalan eventually remembers who he is, but doesn't say anything. There's one of the greatest scenes in all this whole show we have is when Servalan and Avon finally have their big scene together.
Wowzers.
Which is one of my favorite. And now that I know Raquel so well, I actually think of you when I watch that scene now, because you hate romance crap and all that kind of stuff. And Avon does the greatest thing
he does
ever done, because look, first of all, Only a freaking moron, and she's a hottie. Only an idiot would turn his back on Serverland.
You're damn right.
I mean, and they have this scene where she's trying to, they're talking about it. She tells him that Star One was destroyed, and tells him that basically says Blake won after all, which is true, by the way. This is a turning point in the series for those who don't know, because it is established now that Blake did win, and pretty much he won. And it was a costly one, but there's no Federation. They're scattered all over the place, no matter what Serverland thinks he has. There's fleet left, yes, but it's in a lot of trouble. They say it there. Mellenby says, I'd say the Federation's in a lot of trouble. Blake, Avon says, yes, it's difficult to preserve a military dictatorship when you've lost most of the military. Yep. So she's basically knows she'd overheard him talking to Orac. Hey, Fiona. Been out for a while. Missed you guys.
Old thumb.
Oh,
Where the heck have you been?
We've been missing you so much, my dear. So I'm just glad you stopped in to say hi. We love you and we miss you. We hope you'll, even if you can't hang the night, we hope you do. Please, don't be a stranger. Let us know you're okay. And thank you so much for your post earlier. So basically, she's she turns on the Serverland right away, thinking she can do this to anybody, right? This is what she's used to, snaking people and just seducing men and using people. And so she starts to use her feminine wiles, trying to, hey, let's all the things we can do with the power of the. You try to talk him into it. You're the most powerful ship now. She knows Avon's got the most powerful ship in the universe. She has Orac. He has Orac. He has the Liberator. And she gives him the speech. All the things we can do, Avon, now. Well, it was so. Jacqueline Pierce is so terrific. The way she does this, she'd have gotten most men. Let's be honest. And she's brilliant at it. She's done this all of her life. She's manipulated people to obtain power. She doesn't do it in any kind of. She does it in a way that's. A lot of guys are going to fall for it, but it's always lesser men, though. It's always weaklings.
But the most important thing here, Clobby, if I can interject really quickly, is that your focus is on the character and the believability of her sway, of her seduction.
Good night, Penny. By the way,
good night. Sleep sweet. Thank you so much for joining us, Penny.
Yes.
And that's the most important thing. When the sex scenes don't work, they just don't work. Like when Dana kisses Avon in the emergency pod, not only does it work, but it's incredibly special because it's very much like Shakespeare's Tempest. Here we have this young girl who has never really had an opportunity to be with a man. Here, Avon is quite handsome. You can tell he's not a barbarian. He's not a savage. So he's handsome. He's in distress. And here's this young, beautiful girl who would just like to kiss a boy's lips. And so it has that Shakespeare's Tempest element to it. Or feeling, to it. So it feels special and nice. And so it doesn't feel fake. It doesn't feel like a mama bird feeding her baby bird or a mama wrench feeding her baby wrenches. I hope you get that joke. But with Serverland, she's the devil. And when they kiss, it's like he knows he's sucking on the lips of the witch with the poison apple. He knows it. And the writing is so good that that's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about the chemistry because the chemistry works. Dana comes to it like Miranda in The Tempest, the innocent girl who just wants to kiss a boy. Serverland comes at it like the she-devil that she truly is, the witch with the poisoned apple. And so he tastes the blood and the evil on her lips. And of course, he's intrigued, but he lets it go. And that's the difference. It's good writing. Good writing makes the chemistry work. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It's incredible, brilliant writing and performances too, though, because writing can be great, but you got to have the performances match.
It's true.
And Jacqueline Pierce and Paul Darrow are just magnificent in this scene. And he looks like he's buying into it. He looks like he's thinking, and he even says, I don't know how much disingenuous he was being. No, I'm sorry, Princess Fiona. We got one more season of Voyager starting this week. We're getting there.
Princess Fiona, I need you back on Voyager. You're my teammate. I really need you. Come back.
We need you back on Voyager. Damn it, Bones. I need you.
Before they come after me. Like, I need you there.
Yeah.
You're there. You're with me. You're my partner in crime. Get your butt back.
Your scientific.
Get your ass to Mars.
Your scientific support for us. So, anyway,
who could not fall for this, right?
Will be answerable to no one. Ours will be the only voice. Imagination, our only limit.
And then they kiss. And then I guess you clipped it, right?
I've got two clips
kiss.
here.
It's a great kiss.
But I'm going to
kiss. What?
Well, there's one more clip to play. Yep. Before we get to that.
In fact, let me know when you have it. I won't spoil it. I'll let everybody see the clip. But he seems to think about it. Avon, he goes, I am thinking of it. She thinks she's got him. This is the greatest part. She's so used to guys just doing what she wants.
Yep.
My absence is not voluntary. I think I can make it. Good. Not voluntary.
Good.
Sorry about that, Fiona. I hope everything's okay.
I have missed you like crazy. You are my partner in crime in breaking these episodes down, and you are fearless. That's why I call you a giant. That's why I say fee fi fo fum. I need you. You have been missed. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday night as we tear into these episodes. Miss you, girl.
Sean Carter from Mars. Good to see you, buddy. What do you mean?
Sean Carter from Mars.
No power. Oh, my goodness. Well, I hope you're safe and everything's okay, buddy. So, are you ready? Spoiler.
Yeah. I have one more. Yep. Sorry. When I'm editing, sometimes I can't. Here's one more clip. Yep. I think the
great. I love it.
Absolute power. There is nothing you can imagine that we couldn't do.
The other clip is coming up in a second. Yep.
He said today, I am thinking of it.
And then temptation from the devil. Yep.
Yes, it's like this is such a scene. Like you wonder. Of course, it's been so. I can't remember my first reaction to anything with Blake Seven since I've watched it 10 million times now. But I can only imagine the first reaction would be like, is he going to fall for this? I mean,
you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of this.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Love it.
Tim posted that in the watch party.
But that's exactly what it's like. That's why I say she's like the devil offering, she's offering the apple, the poison apple. She's the witch. She has blood on her lips. You bite into that apple, it's blood and worms.
Sorry about all the health and family stuff there, Fiona, but I hope things get better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we're thinking of you, sweetheart. Sorry about that.
Let me know when you got that, because I don't really want to move on to that. That's such a crucial part.
Yeah, well, why don't you go on, and then we'll play it when I got it. I don't want to hold you up too much. Yeah. Well, sorry about that. Yeah.
That's all right.
Too much streaming going on today.
No problem. I just thought you had it right.
No, I'm editing right. Well, I'm adding some special features to it, shall we say?
Okay. Well, anyway, so basically they kiss. It all looks like things might be going Serverland's way when all of a sudden Avon pulls up, puts his hand around her throat, and then throws her to the ground. Imagination, my only limit. I'd be dead in a week.
Right?
Yep. Earlier,
probably,
of course,
just from sheer exhaustion. I know that it's awful that I'm saying that because that's a very sexual comment to make, but I do mean that. There's
Outer.
so much chemistry and electricity with these two actors that is definitely what's implied here. It's the first place your mind goes to. I mean, it's not just her treachery, it's also the fact that their chemistry is just unbelievable.
No.
But who wouldn't have chemistry with Paul Darrow? That man needs a smooch.
Okay. So, no, earlier on, by the way, I should have said, I forgot because I got so wrapped up in that part, that Hal Mellenby showed Avon some of Dana's really impressive work. Picasso, good to see you.
Picasso
Showed Dana's extraordinary, really brilliant work with weaponry systems. So she's a definitely great at that with weapons, different in combat, different things like that, which was interesting for this character. And but anyway, so Avon basically gives Severland the brush off. They that was when oh yes, I forgot also the Mellenbys are outside using technology to scare off the primitives from their basic the porthole where they enter the ship and stuff like that. And I kind of agree with, I don't know, Dana probably should have used a little bit of more lethal force than they did. I can't, it's such a shame that their sister stays behind, her stepsister Lauren stays behind, and she gets captured, and unfortunately we find out later she's been killed. In the meantime, as Dana and Avon go to sleep, Serverland tries to escape. She's stolen the gun from Dana's room, and then basically she gets into it with Hal Mellenby. They have a discussion, and she tries to steal Aurak, but he catches her trying to steal Aurak. She couldn't do it, and so eventually she kills Hal Mellenby, shooting him in the back. The blind man, by the way. That's why Avon, look, I mean, he knows this is a woman who would shoot a blind man in the back.
Pure evil. Pure evil.
She's as evil as it gets. You cannot trust her. So she leaves.
This is a science fiction show, but at that very second, you feel so much disgust and outrage.
Oh, it's horrible. Horrible. So she steals Aurak, goes out, and promptly gets her dumb ass caught by the Sirens. And again, I love how the Savage, look, if you can't, you're not going to trick a brilliant, sophisticated, civilized man like Avon, because he's smart, but most people fall for it. But Chell, the leader of the Siren, doesn't buy into her crap either, even though she's trying to say, look, that gun, I can get many of them for you. You can be the most powerful man. He's not impressed with the one gun that can shoot flashy stuff. He just says, "Pah, get out of here." He didn't care. It's kind of funny. She's been rejected twice in this episode. That had to hurt for a woman like, she never gets rejected. She got rejected twice in the same course of over a day and a half or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
sex and power. But the unfortunate thing is that her sex is all about power. And so when she doesn't have the muscle to back up the things she's saying, people can turn her down, and she's not used to that.
And the problem is she has Aurak and knows where Aurak is. So Avon and because unfortunately Hal Mellenby's dead. They found out that Lauren's dead. As sad as Dana is, she's very sad. She's lost it all. And all she wants now is revenge and all Avon wants is Aurak, because he needs to use Aurak to bring the Liberator to him, because he's already been in contact with the Liberator. And it turned out the Liberator had a ship approaching it, and Avon almost ordered it destroyed, but decides it could be one of the others getting back, so he doesn't. And now he's lost contact. He doesn't know what's going on. He needs Aurak. So he tells Dana, look, we've got to get her, we got to capture her alive, because she's the only one that knows who Aurak is. And yes, I mean, she's already given her orders, like, I don't want you telling me it was an accident afterwards. Basically, as much as Dana doesn't like it, she understands, and so she obeys. They create a disturbance, and he goes and rescues Serverland, as disgusting as that had to feel. And then eventually she brings them to Aurak. And but they have to trick her and get the and get her bracelet from her because she, she basically made a bargain. She they had to make a bargain with her that they had no, she didn't have any intention of keeping her side, and they didn't have theirs either. But they ended up getting the drop on her. She barely gets away from Dana and escaping back down to the spaceship as the sirens approach. And of course, Avon and Dana are teleported back up to the Liberator, in which in the teleporter room they have a lot to do. They are approached by a gentleman in Federation garb, a man named Captain Del Tarrant, who says summary execution is a usual penalty for boarding a Federation ship. What are you doing on my ship?
My ship.
Oh, actually, you didn't. Avon doesn't say anything in this one. He says something in the next episode. So
Venomous.
with him looking at him. Venomousness. Joseph Simon is a new movie called Tell That to the Winter Sea. Joseph Simon's weird. She won't talk about Blake 7, and she won't do cons. She won't ever even talk about it. She didn't do any of the big finish. It's a shame because anyway.
Who wouldn't do cons?
Dana, Joseph Simon.
Oh, Dana. Okay. Yeah.
Well, she's done cons way back when, I think, but as far as lately in the past number of years or a good while, she wouldn't do big finish or any of that stuff, but she just won't talk about it or anything. Won't do interviews. I don't know what her problem is. So anyway, there you have it. That's the end of Aftermath. Next week, continued in Power Play. So there you go. Are we ready to do our reviews?
Sure, and I got a couple more clips to play. So here's
okay.
I think I played the Absolute Power clip, but here's one about building an empire.
You and I could build an empire greater and more powerful than the Federation ever was or ever could have been. Now, Avon.
And then here's what happens after that.
Ew.
You didn't do my favorite part?
Oh, it's coming. That's coming. It's coming up.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, Mark. Hurry up.
That's all right. All right. So,
Damn it, Mark.
Ravenscroft and Max and anyone else who has anything to say about the episode, now's the time. I will store your comments. Wow. So, number one, would you like to take over?
Sure.
Do your review.
Okay, here are my notes from the episode. I love the practical effects opening. It's fun to watch, and I just love it. I absolutely love practical effects. I love all the work that goes into it. I like the way it looks, and I like the way it feels. Let's talk about the sets. The set designs for this week are just excellent. I just love them. I wrote in my notes, they are perfect with an exclamation point, and they really are. So good, especially in the hallways of the Liberator. They look so good. Avon is knocked out by an explosion. It's incredibly tense when you consider the fate or the care of Aurak. I love this moment. It's a nail biter. So this is the second time that I've watched this, and it still has that same nail biting effect on me. Dana's escape cave looks nearly identical to All Our Yesterdays. If you look at All Our Yesterdays and you look at Dana's escape cave and you just turn down the lights just slightly, they look almost identical. Herein, Avon has his own Zarabeth. This is a lovely tribute to Star Trek, and we got a nice smooch out of it. Avon kicks ass, but avoids violence and killing. I really like that he has that conversation about how, he doesn't want to engage in violence, and he doesn't want to engage in killing. And so I just put in my notes, Avon is just beautiful. I absolutely love this character. Servalan is overdressed for the beach. And I just wanted to assure all of the viewers that her right chesticle has returned after taking a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
You're saying they were looking good this week?
They're looking good. They're perky, and they're
I
exactly
don't want to
where
say that.
they are exactly where they are supposed to be this week. I love watching Avon flirt with Servalan. There is real chemistry here. There is no barfing. There is no get out of here. There's no stop it, look away. It's nice. These people know how to kiss and make it real. That's another thing. Like, why do some of these actors, they open their mouth wide? Like, could you imagine kissing them in real life? They'd be all tongue. It would be like being, asphyxiated by a lizard or something. It's just very weird the way. Why do people kiss like that? Like Paul Darrow and Jacqueline Pierce. These two know how to kiss. These are people who you want to kiss. Cool fixed orbit station buried in the beach. Holy Jules Verne vibes. You just like, it just feels so, it feels like an old sci-fi story. And I just love that there's a fixed orbit station buried in the beach. It's the coolest idea, and I just love it. Servalan's insults about sophistication are just savage. She goes on for several minutes talking about how sartorial choices are a reflection of one's intellect, breeding, refinement, good sense. And it's savage. She is just horribly mean, and it's quite funny. There is a whole whack of cool technology in this episode. I absolutely love the weapons, and the vision device is something that Gene Roddenberry would have absolutely loved. The conversation about developing weapons without regard for the responsibility of using them is quite intriguing. Once again, we have, I think it's Terry Nation who wrote this one, tabling a super meaty philosophical issue that one must pause on and reflect on. And this is something that you take away from the episode, and you go and you have a chew on it a little bit later, because it is something that we should all consider. What is the responsibility of weapons development? And why is it that everyone who develops weapons, well, nearly everyone who develops weapons, then cries foul thereafterward at the thought of those weapons being used? We've got some Oppenheimer here. We've got this responsibility of creating destruction, to be the I am death. And I think that it's wonderful that it's introduced in this way, and that the viewer must consider it. I love the fact that Servalan says, Avon, I thought you had conquered emotion. I thought you had replaced your feelings with logic. This is Servalan to Avon, and of course we have echoes of Spock. Let's face it. I mean, Avon is Mirror Universe Spock, and Paul Darrow, I think, is equally sexy to Leonard Nimoy. I have a massive crush on him, as well as Leonard Nimoy. Everyone knows this. Servalan tries to seduce Avon. It doesn't end well for her. She is physically and emotionally humiliated by him. And what I love is that it shows such great restraint that he is dealing with. She is a psychotic murderer. She's a mass murderer. She's a war criminal. She is an effing maniac. And here she is trying to set him up to kill him. And now think about the trillions of people that Servalan has killed. And so rather than killing her or being violent with her, he grabs her in a way that is so evocative of her vulnerability and his ability to kill her, but his restraint, and his philosophy of not hurting her, and that is to to grab her by the neck, but not to harm her, not to choke her, not to squeeze her, or to make her stop talking, and you know, that would be vile violence, but to send the message that she is vulnerable by touching her on either side of her neck and pushing her away. Not only is he pushing away the evil and throwing it down, but he is humiliating her to take away all of her sexual power, and obviously her evilness. Right? This is a person who has killed trillions of people. I think it's a very powerful scene. And once again, we have this idea of Avon does not like violence. He doesn't want to kill anyone. He doesn't want to hurt anyone. This situation must be thrust upon him. And then, even then, he will show incredible restraint. Dana's father underestimates the intelligence of the savages, of the natives of the planet. This is, of course, his downfall. You know, he loses his adopted daughter, who he loves very much. It is quite tragic, and it ultimately leads to his death as well, because it changes the whole cocktail of what's happening on that beach, and the situation developing with everyone, being on the planet and figuring out who's going to get out with Aurak. My first watch, I really did not like Dana. I did not like this character. I thought this character was annoying. I was like, why the hell am I watching this? This is stupid. I don't like this character. I loved her dad. I was so upset when they killed her dad, but I just didn't like her. I just didn't. But now I do. On a second watch, I'm like, she's actually kind of a cool chick. And I really like that moment where she just gives him a little peck, Avon, because she thinks he's cute, and that's our little Shakespearean moment. So this episode is absolutely beautiful. It is among the best of all of Blake's 7. The acting is just tremendous. The writing is just tremendous. And when you have those two things together, you have a recipe for just so much satisfaction. This is sexy science fiction. This is got all of the elements, like the inventions and the weaponry and the guns and the crazy vision device, and just everything that's happening. The pods, the fact that we get to see the guts of the Liberator. This is just fun. It's beautiful. It's fun, and it's well wrought in every way, the acting as well as the writing. And certainly the dialogue is diabolically delicious. I love this stuff. It's just smoking hot, cool fun. It's a 7 out of 7.
Indeed. Mark?
All right. Well, I've got a couple of clips that I finished. So
cool.
Let me play that. So one of them, well, this was a little bit in the past, but of the episode, but I love this quote here.
Yes, it's difficult to sustain a military dictatorship when you've lost most of the military. I only hope Blake survived long enough to realize that he was winning both wars.
And here's that's just such a, I mean, as we've been saying all along, the writing is brilliant on this series, and it makes up for the lack of budget. Although I do think the special effects, for the most part, are pretty darn good considering the budget, and especially this episode. As Raquel said, that opening, it makes you feel like you're on a spaceship that's falling apart. You saw that corridor that you've never seen before, and it worked in terms of the tension. I mean, there's one part, of course, where Villa like grabs like a tinfoil piece of the ship and is trying to cover up a hole or something. It looked a little cheesy, but on the whole, I guess, being a child of the 70s, that kind of stuff doesn't bother me as much, but they did do a great job. And here's the clip that you were
Hey, John
for.
John Platt. Hello.
Hey, John.
Welcome.
John's here. Hey, John.
Imagination my only limit. I'd be dead in a week.
Right? I mean,
good look on her face. Nobody does that to Serverland.
You can't do that to Serverland. I mean, but it's totally true, and that's why this series is so great, because you've got this great counterpoint. The light and the dark, and Avon is kind of in the middle there. Sometimes he falls into that shade of gray, but he's acting like a paladin in this episode, I have to say, in terms of not wanting to kill an enemy, and you know,
He just
you
did
could
kill
see
in
where.
cold blood.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
Yeah.
I could see where, just in terms of you could lose it too, right? I mean, he's so he holds up. It's true to his character. I think, you know, people could, you know, with all the death and destruction, you could just say, screw it, you know, let's just get rid of this quote unquote, you know, primitive, you know, person here. So I thought that was really well done in the episode, and of course the opening too, where, you know, the space battle. You don't get to see a lot of it, but you get to see enough of it, I think, to generate, you know, in your mind's eye, what's happening. They don't have all the budget, but I think they did spend quite a bit on it, and that you see some ships, and of course the more altruism there, where they're teaming up with the Federation to prevent the Andromedans, or how do you say where they're from? They're
Andromedans.
from. Yeah, I can't. It's a tongue
I mean, the
twister for me.
Federation owe Blake and the Liberator,
Yeah,
but they're ungrateful sods. So
yeah. So you've got the Liberator making the last stand, like the Alamo, and what did they say they destroyed? 600 ships, or almost 600
it was
alien
like,
ship.
right. Well, and I'll address that in a second, Ravenscroft, I promise.
Yeah.
Mellenby tells Avon, you know, when he says, when Avon asked him, because he said, I've been monitoring what's going on. And he said, first of all, when he tells him, he tells him basically, I've been monitoring what's going on. I've been hearing reports for the past couple of hours. And he says, and Avon asked him, did we win? And just, yeah, we almost didn't. But it looks like they have, you know, the Federation is in a lot of trouble, but basically says, yes, but you almost didn't. And he tells him, well, at least Blake's rabble will never get a chance now. If Blake and the Liberator, he goes, you were with Blake. You're doubly welcome, Raven. Thought you were magnificent. And he goes, not from where I was sitting. And so basically that's when they get to start knowing each other better. But Ravenscroft says that there's been debate about how much time elapses between Star One and Aftermath. I've heard weeks or months thoughts. No, it's not weeks. I don't think it can be more than a couple of days, because remember, the Liberator was holding off those ships coming from the one section of the zone, and then as soon as they, you know, that had to start taking a lot of toll on the Liberator, and then they eventually probably had to pull back while the other ships started showing up to help. Remember, at the end of Star One, they were saying that it was going to be a few hours before the rest of the fleet started showing up. So they were going to have to hold them off. So you're talking about a matter of hours. Eventually, when the Federation started holding up, showing up, the Liberator probably had to pull back because it couldn't last too long with those ships coming through. And eventually, when they, they were probably traveling fairly quickly, fairly swiftly when they started abandoning the Liberator. So I'd say that who knows how long it takes one of those capsules to get to one of those planets. Maybe the course of a day or two. So at the most, I think you're talking about a couple of days between
at the most, yeah.
When the fight starts and when it starts to die down, and so and the smoke starts to clear, as they say. And Mellenby said he'd been hearing reports coming over the past couple of hours. He's been monitoring what's going on. So it would appear to me, I would ballpark it. Maybe that one of the, obviously those, I doubt that those capsules can go anything like super light speed or anything. So I'd imagine it's probably a matter of days, because it would make sense that the Liberator capsules would be faster than anything you'd have at normal ships. And they would find habitable planets quicker than most. And again, I'm just judging by Mellenby saying that he's been, looking at it for a couple of hours. He's been hearing about it over the past couple of hours or days or whatever it was. And I'm going to guess a few days. No, I don't think it's weeks. I don't think it's months. And then after that, of course, now I think there had to be months between the Keeper and Star One for sure. I think there had, but yeah, that they condensed that way too easily. But anyway.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
I agree with that 100%. Can't be that long. So yeah,
That's,
space battle. How long is a space battle going to last? I mean, not
yeah. Well, not
it's
only
not like
that,
an infantry
yeah,
conflict that's going to go out,
yeah,
for weeks and months. So, and of course, how long could you survive in one of those capsules too? So,
yeah,
yeah, I agree with that in terms of the
yeah. It could be
timeline.
too long. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
that's
I think
interesting question.
I think it's
yeah,
immediate.
yeah. And immediate can mean a number of hours to a day or two. Nothing like
Yeah.
weeks. So yeah,
No,
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's immediate, and
yeah, yeah,
I think the speculation comes from the fact that um that they seem so unwilling to give up the Liberator, and it's as though they were trying to patch her together during the battle. And I think that when something is done really well like that, it really encourages the viewer to push back the walls of the pretend world and make this story bigger in their own mind. Like the struggle is real. I mean, how long have they been struggling like this? So I think it's really just a testament to how well this story is told here. The visuals, the dialogue, the storytelling apparatus itself, as well as the acting. But I do think that it is absolutely immediate. I just think that it's very shocking because I like what Mark said. How long can a space battle possibly go on? This isn't Kirk. This is
yeah.
supposed to be more like a darker thing. We know that they were violently attacked, that the ship was ruined, and I think that if you're watching here and you're a fan of Claudia or me or Mark or all three of us, then you're probably a fan of Enterprise and you're probably a fan of the Liberator. So I think it is very telling that you're upset that the Liberator was damaged to the point where everyone had to abandon her. So I think that that's really beautiful. And I think it's cool to add that speculation because it gives you that feeling. But I do think that it's immediate.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Mark,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you?
So I could talk for, well, maybe not hours on this episode, but there's just so much going on. It's just so well done. And as we were saying during the watch party, uh it plays like a movie with these 3 episodes. If you watch them back to back to back, it fits together, not saying what
Oh
happens in the
yeah,
next episode, but it fits
an
together so
excellent.
well. Thanks to streaming, I'm not watching this, when it was live. If it was just watching this back in the day, which I kind of wish I would, wish I had known about it, but oh my God, I can't believe I have to wait to see what happens. So and Mellenby is such an interesting character too. He's the Tony Stark, right? On this, he's things have gone wrong with the Federation, and
Yeah.
you know Dana's kind of saying, well, we're not prisoners, we're not exiles, but the dad is obviously hiding some goings on from his daughter, I'm sure, in terms of how much danger they're in. And but as Raquel said, yeah, it's such a cool concept and set design, and he's the coolest cat there is with those glasses, right? Much cooler looking than Geordi LaForge, right? So
Yeah.
but great sci-fi design there and setup. The one thing that I thought was ridiculous, that I would ding the episode for a little bit, was Lauren Mellenby. They left her on the surface there, and as
Yeah, it was
Raquel said,
frustrating.
they underestimated the bad guys, but you just don't leave someone. And I thought you would stay maybe like a half hour or 15 minutes, but you've got to have cameras or monitors, that are that high tech. So I think, the point was to set her up as a sacrifice to, show how horrible, war is and how horrible
Yeah.
these people on the planet. But it was just the way it was done. That was the only
I
thing I
also
would
think
think.
though that there's some commentary here, and it happens in three times in this episode. There's actually some commentary for us to consider the fact that if to be a true pacifist, you risk everything. So we talk about weapons and what happens when you create weapons, and are you responsible for who harms people with those weapons? And then we have the inventor himself there instructing both of his daughters to sort of treat these people like lab rats. You know, if you touch the live wire enough times, you won't touch the live wire, and he
Yeah.
thinks that he can sort of redirect them. But the thing is that the adopted daughter is from them. She knows how savage they are, and so I think she is a little bit more like Dana, where she's willing to use force, because I think she recognizes how dangerous they are. And I think that it is hubris on the part of Dana's scientific father. I forget his name.
Willoughby, yep.
To
Mellenby.
try and
Mellenby, yep.
in Mellenby to try and impart this total nonviolence on his daughters, and yet he develops weapons. It's almost as if he has shame. But then Terry Nation signals us that, you know, there is a time when you have to stand up, or someone will kill you. Someone will kill your daughter. You can't just pretend that you're above violence, because when violence comes for you, you're not going to be above it. You're going to be below ground. And there are 3 opportunities for us to have that discussion in this episode. And so I invite people to go and watch it for themselves and see what I mean, because it's some really nice commentary that I would say is in keeping with the Socratic dialectic, where it does not admonish, it does not become preachy, it doesn't tell you what to think, but it definitely says to you, you know, what do you think about this? And so that's my take on that. I don't think it's so preposterous as much as it was a way of signaling the fact that when you're not violent, people can kill you. And his superiority, like his feeling of superiority, intellectual superiority, was his undoing, and it got his daughter killed. So much for being so high-minded that you think you are above violence, even though you develop weapons that kill people. I think it's a little bit of an attack on hypocrisy, and it also helps people to question how far and how willing they are to engage in pacifism.
Even though Avon says, I seldom comment on other people's ethics.
Yeah, and that's one of the times that I'm talking about. He talks about it.
Except for Blake's.
Yep, he has the conversation with the father scientist who admonishes his daughters. He also admonishes Dana, and Dana barks back. Then Avon has a conversation with Dana about her willingness to engage in violence. So this is Terry Nation doing what an author should do. That is, proposing ideas, presenting evidence, and then letting you decide what you think about it. And I think it's done expertly here.
Indeed.
Yeah, I was just reading that line. Of course, Clobber Times gets the exact quote as I'm looking at the transcript, but that exchange here, Dana and I don't agree on some issues. How can I agree? It contradicts everything I've done all my life. We've made the most sophisticated weapons ever known. They're designed to kill. No, Dana, they have no other purpose. You tell me they should never be used? You know, does that make sense? Avon? So that's the lead up to. I seldom comment on other people's ethics.
Unless it's Blake. I comment. Unless it's Blake, of course, he goes out of his way to comment on his.
Right, but I think the only that, you know, Raquel, brilliant analysis there. The only thing I think the writer could have come up with a better way to have Lauren meet her untimely doom, though. I mean, in terms of
yes, I accept that. But yeah. I do think that it's really important to realize that it is very brave to table this issue in this way and not push what you believe on other people. And I just think that Terry Nation does it just brilliantly. I just think that it's absolutely wonderful. Like I could walk away from this conversation, and you and I, and like the 3 of us, we could go backstage, and you and I, we all 3 of us, we could talk about, you know, weapons, and when is it time to wage war, and when is it time for peace, and what constitutes war, what constitutes violence, and what doesn't. And so that the presentation of that philosophical struggle that we all have in trying to maintain goodness and not let evil take over, but at the same time, not be consumed with violence ourselves is an incredibly wonderful thing to accomplish with a television show, and to do it so deliberately, but to never overstep the bounds. I just think it's wonderful. It's so wonderful. We could use a lot more of that these days.
Indeed, indeedishness.
And the other part, I was just gonna say, the other part that I found really interesting too was the writing so concise. But do you have any information about the rest of the crew? Direct instructions have been received from Blake. Where is he? Is he safe? He reports he's uninjured. A locator malfunction at the time of transmission made it impossible to calculate his exact position. The others, routine message interception indicates that Jenna is now in a hospital ship. Her injuries are superficial. What was the destination of the hospital ship? The information was unclear. All right, what about Villa and Callie? There's been no communication from either of them.
No information. Yeah.
But that's just that those couple of paragraphs there tell you all you need to know, or and as a viewer you want to know more, but as a writer looking at it, that's all they want to give the viewer, and that leaves a lot of questions open, which adds to the tension of the episode. Instead of hearing, oh, Villa and Callie, they're, on the planet, they're fine. We just have to go get them. Jenna's doing great. You find out she's on a hospital ship. So just more great writing. And they don't have, a 50-minute conversation in the hallway about how their feelings have been hurt by, all this death and destruction. So just so concise and so well done. So, yeah, there's really not. I mean, other than that little nitpick that I could say about how the mechanics of Lauren meeting her demise. Oh, the other question I had was, why did they take Serverland's bracelet? Avon, doesn't he say the bracelet's broken at the end? Then why did he take the bracelet, even though it was broken, away from Serverland?
He was lying.
He was lying.
Ah, there we go. See, you learn something every day.
He proved that he would lie.
He made her look. That's all it took.
Yeah.
And then
just enough to distract her so that
Dana can get it.
Dana could rip it off of her.
Okay, thank you. See, I'm a gullible scout.
Whatever. I love that you're like this. Don't ever change. You're a Catholic Boy Scout leader, cool person who serves your community. Don't ever change. We love you just the way you are.
I don't think I got charged for my Coca-Cola today. It was under my shopping cart because I got friends visiting, so I never buy soda anymore. And I don't think they got it on the checkout, so I think I have to go to confession. But
I always go back to the store and tell them, and then I pay.
Yeah, but when I got home, I looked at my receipt and I'm like, oh, I think they forgot to scan. They did put stuff underneath my shopping cart, so I thought that he had it, but and they were actually like Marvel Comics Coke cans. So, but
you got to go back and pay for those. No confession for you. Go back and pay. Go back and pay.
So what did you ultimately?
Oh, this is a 7+. Yeah, this is
okay.
This is just amazing. Yep.
Well, I love it. Of course, this episode we have once again, folks, entered into my top 10 territory. I have it ranked. Aftermath ranked at number 8. Number 8. Rating 7++. I love it that much. Again, for all you, we've talked. We're gonna move and read our reviews because we've been on this one for quite a bit of time. But I don't really have to go too far into it. You both handled it pretty much well. I love everything about this episode. Even though it's like the big middle part of an epic, it's Blake Seven's hugest epic. I mean, you got Star One, Aftermath, Power Play, and it was fun piece of trivia that initially in Terry Nation's original script, he was going to kill Villa and Callie. Thank God that did not happen. Would not like that. But classic Avon bits, classic Avon. The first time they've met a few times, but they've never really spoken. Avon and Callie. We got Callie. This is me. Serverland have never really had any interaction per se, right? And yes, she thinks she knows everything about him, like, because that's just the way she is. But she didn't even know him until this one. And it was a great, just such great scenes between the two of them. It was good to meet. I liked how it's a shame about how Melody and Lauren. That's terrible. But this thing's full of great writing. And I like Dana. Dana's an interesting character. It's just getting started, though. it's like the big, very satisfactory middle to one big long saga that I'm loving. So let's see what our friends say. Ravenscroft says, let's see. Oh, did it go backwards on me? Oh my God. No, I fixed it. I think okay, here we go. Damn. All right. Great tense opening that leaves us wondering who survived and where they are. Not gonna lie, I kept thinking. I gave it 6 Avons, by the way. You gave it 6 Avons, sorry. Not gonna lie, I kept thinking, where's Blake and Jenna? Loved those two and got more and more nervous as time went by without them on screen. Villa and Callie are good characters, but was not sure, still not, that they were strong enough to carry a show forward. Take away Blake's mission and his fantastic dynamic with Avon. And you basically have Darrow keeping the show alive with sheer force of willpower. What is the show about now? Though. Nobody on board cares much about freeing the masses a la Blake, so we're left with a lot of questions as to direction. I'm glad you know the answers to these things now, though, because I know you must know, because I know you watched it. I did love the intro to Mellenby and Dana. Really was hoping he'd join the crew. Yeah, that would have been cool. Undersea Base was cool as heck. Shades of Stingray.
Can I get you to pause for just 1 second? Because you're not going to believe who's here. Gary Ambrosia's here. Hi, sweetheart. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Gary Ambrosia.
How are you, handsome? Good to see you.
Greetings, my friend. It's an honor to have you here, sir.
So good to see you.
Yes, indeed. The great Gary Ambrosia. I hope you are doing well, sir. Great to see you. Great to see you. Let's see. Darrow is excellent here, balancing Avon's self-interest mask with obvious concern for the crew. He seems to, yeah, I do love that about that. This is one of the excellent things, yes. He seems to have grown since we saw him last, sliding naturally into a leadership role. Agreed, sir. I'm right there with you, Ravenscroft. Oh, I must have missed one of them. That was 7. I've got 9 after that. No pun. So let's see. What time was that? That's 10:16. I must have missed one. Let's see. Hang on a second. Let me get your other one there, buddy. 9. Oh, no. His number 8 vanished. So I'm seeing his 9 and I'm seeing his 10. Ravenscroft, I'm so sorry, but between 9 and 10, there's no 8 unless that was an accident.
No. Gary sent you a present.
Oh, my. Let's see. Gary, thank you so much. You're too kind, buddy. Hail, you guys. Clobber on to you, sir, on this wonderful celebratory night. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, sir.
Very kind and very thoughtful of you, Gary.
Yep, don't worry. We'll get the Night Stalker as fast as we can, my friends. Okay. So I'm afraid, Ravenscroft, I don't have number 8 for you, sir. Unless there was some kind of, has he said anything?
Pretty quiet on this side.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to go from 7 to 9 there, buddy. What? Yeah, there's no 8. No number 8. Could have been a mistake. Maybe 9 was meant to be that. Andy Masterson.
Andy! Oh my God,
right,
Andy
buddy.
and Gary are here. I love you guys. It's so good to see you.
Nice. Good to see you there, brother. Hope you're doing great. See, this has been one hell of a day. The 1500th episode. This is 1501 right here, of course, but the 1500th celebration. And everybody just hanging out with me. I don't know what to say. It's amazing. You get to see cool friends like Andy and Gary show up. This is fantastic. Let's see here. Well, Ravenscroft just posted it again, he says. Really?
Oh, well, then definitely you're getting vaporized.
You're getting vaporized.
Yep. Because I'm watching like a hawk, and there's nothing there.
Yep, we're watching it, and he said posted it again, and it's not working.
Yep. You got vaporized.
Yes, your gang right now says it.
We
Gary.
ride together.
Yes, sir. What a gang. You know, yeah, that's
Warriors.
Warriors come out to play. I mean, could there be a word in there that just might be a little off?
Did you say boobies?
I mean, yeah, because I'm looking at all right, let's see.
You have to say chesticles instead
7,
of boobies.
And then 9 don't have anything, obviously. Sliding naturally into leadership role.
Oh, wow.
I don't understand it.
It was about Tarrant, no biggie.
It was about Tarrant? Oh, okay, well, Well, you got more Tarrant will really, you won't know much about, but because you've seen it, but there won't really be any Tarrant till next week. So,
Max.
Wow, should I leave that in there?
No, get rid of that.
Yeah.
You don't want it interfering with your monetization or your payments.
Max, I can't have that kind of stuff in there. I got it. Algorithm. It's dangerous for the channel. Sorry, buddy. I took it out. I depend on this channel, buddy. Sorry. But thank you. Anyway, especially since it's aimed at Google.
Yeah.
Buck you, Rick Berman's one thing.
Come on the box.
Okay, let's see. Darrow is excellent here, balancing Avon's self-interest mask, but okay, there you go. Leadership role. Then I'm sorry about number 8 there, Ravenscroft. I'm sorry about that, buddy. He says Serverland's attempted seduction of Avon was inevitable. I guess, but I honestly wish they wouldn't have leaned so hard into it later. But I got ahead of myself. Actually, I don't think they leaned into it that much, but we'll handle that later. 10 of 11. In some ways, Blake's disappearance added an element of mystery to the show. He's not dead, probably, and yet he's not back on the Liberator. So what's with him? Yeah, well, there you go, sir. This question will hover over over the show like a ghost, and it does add a nice layer of tension for the longtime fans. Thank you so much, Ravenscroft. I'm so sorry about losing the chat there, buddy. All right, let's see. Maximum Redstone, the great maestro, says he gives it a 5.5 out of 7, and it says top 10, but it doesn't say your rank. 5.5, and you're top 10, but it only gets a 5 point. Am I seeing that right? He didn't give the rank. Okay, well, let me know. It makes
no sense. It makes no sense.
Well, Max, let me know what you're ranking it if you got a rank for it. Anyway, he says, so the Liberator and Pursuit ships fight Space City, a Wanderer-class explorer, the Nova Queen, and an unmanned ore carrier, and so it's Blake's 7 to reuse footage for a second and third time. He's referring to a lot of the ships that were in that alien fleet that were one of them was Space City, another one, they were all used in countless episodes before. Did we lose Mark? Oh, that's right. You're that's you. No.
Oh, I'm here. Yep.
Are you?
Oh, I think I went to sneeze and I put my mic on mute.
No problem.
And I bet you missed all my pithy comments.
Well, you were muted till just now. Anyway.
Yep. Damn it, Mark.
So, R.I.P. Mike Yates, yes, but his conversation does give important information that makes you hate the Sirens. Dana is instantly lovable, and as a viewer, you are definitely on her and Hal's side. Yes, sir, I agree. I love the conversation between Avon and Serverland. Blake is gone. Blake is gone now. Avon and Serverland form their own dynamic. Serverland is as much of a reptile as ever, and Avon knows exactly what she is. Yes, sir. The death of Hal Mellenby is the height of Blake 7. Serverland is pure evil, ruthless, and savage, killing at the slightest opportunity. Yes, shooting a blind man in the back. Wow. As is the death of Lauren, unnecessary and heartbreaking. Yes, very true.
She smiles.
Is there? I love
She
her.
smiles.
Is there no one that Serverland won't try to bargain with? What are left with? We are left with another cliffhanger, which leads to the logical third part of the trilogy. Thank you so much, Maximum Redstone, for that review. Mars Monkey Max says, I just want to say this was a big day for Clobby. We love you, Clobby. Oh, thank you. You're too kind, buddy. I appreciate everyone who was here earlier for that. I want to thank Raquel and Mark as well. This is as much your day as his. It is, you guys. It is your day, too. Thank you for helping him make one of the thank you. Mars Monkey Max, thank you for those kind words. And you're exactly right.
You, yep.
Thanks,
Thanks
sweetheart.
to both of you. Thanks to both of you. Ravenscroft said, Clobbering Times, there's been debate. I read that one, sorry. Max had an addendum. He said, addendum. As a shrewd viewer, I was hoping to see some of the quirky alien ships from Star 1 in the Aftermath space battle, but BBC didn't always have budget enough for continuity. That is true. Sad, but true, buddy. Gary Ambrosia, I have some props from Blake 7. Oh, no.
You tell what?
Whoa. Gary, if you're still here, brother, I'd love to hear about those. I'm Blake 7.
Do you want to show them? Do you want to show and tell?
I'd love to see them. If you ever want to come show them to us,
Gary, can you show?
You are invited.
You've got 5 minutes to get here.
Yes, please.
No, he can, don't.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I know.
What do you mean? I want to come on.
Oh,
I love you, Gary.
There.
Come on.
Oh, he's invited, but I don't want to push anybody to.
Well, I do. He's definitely invited wherever I go. Come on on.
Oh yeah, he's totally invited, but I don't want him to feel like we're browbeating him.
Yeah.
But Gary, if you want to come on now or any other time, I would love to see those.
Yeah.
And we review Blake 7 every
week.
Thursday. Every Thursday. Wes Cagle says, I really don't know this franchise well enough to rate it, but the only thing I can say is my British cousins across the pond are really bad kissers.
I hate bad kissing in movies and TV shows.
Sorry, Raquel. It was like watching two carp stranded on land trying to give each other mouth to mouth. Wow.
That is what all of the kissing on DS9, TNG, DS9, and Voyager, all of it, it's like two carp on a beach trying to give each other mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
What's the carp about?
It is so disgusting. It's like I liken it to a mama bird feeding her baby birds. It looks weird. It's awkward. It looks almost kind of painful. Also, Kirodo. Oh, Kirodo was nasty. Kira and Odo together. Ugh. I mean, who wants to watch that? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I would become a nun. I would just go to a nunnery if that was my only choice. Ew.
Ouch.
Ew.
Well, I think we've handled this episode. Let's see what Gary says. He says, they're in my storage unit. I will dig them up this week. Some sort of bracelet. Well, the bracelet, that's the teleport bracelet with a neon pink button and a Federation pistol. Great. I don't know the show very well. Well, you're covered on that. I got you covered on that end. Hey, Gary, anytime you are able to, because I know you're a busy man, if you're willing to come on, on Thursday nights, we review Blake 7 episodes. We just started season C, which is season 3, which means we'll be sometime. So no pressure. If you're able to pull them out of there, if you ever think about it, and if you'd show them to us, we would love to see those, man.
Every time you have been my host, you have been nothing but a gentleman. You are such a sweetheart of a guy, and you're cutie patootie too. So anytime that you want to come on the Clubhouse, you most certainly can.
Please.
Like, you have been so kind to us whenever we're over there, and you always make me feel welcome whenever I'm on DC shows. So I would love it if you would come on here with us.
We would love to have you on just as a special guest. I mean, the props notwithstanding, but of course we'd love to see those. But open invite. If you just let me know, like I said, no pressure, but when you find it, when you're able, please let me know. And I would be honored to have you, sir. Thank you so much. That is so cool. That bracelet you're talking about, the teleport bracelet, a buddy of mine 3D printed me one of those, but it's not the same as having a prop. I mean,
Actual prop from the show. Yep.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Well, there's one show note I had, and we're gonna move on. But from the episode, they said it was based on the Tempest. Loosely inspired by the Tempest. Dana was modeled as Miranda, and Hal Mellenby on Prospero. So
see, I was correct. Correct.
I was just wondering if you thought that was correct, Raquel. But yeah, okay. Yep.
It is correct.
Correct. And the ratings for this episode were 9.5 million people, way more than are watching the New Who. And it first aired on January 7th, 1980. Was the first time this aired on the BBC. And the next episode, as Clever Times has mentioned, is Power Play.
Yes, sir. Power Play is next.
Dun, 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 dun.
And now next tonight is Kolchak the Night Stalker. Are we ready for some Kolchak, my friends?
Let's talk Kolchak.
Are you ready for some Kolchak? Ravenscroft says, well, I have to head out, sadly. Clobby, congrats again. And here's the next 1,500. Here's the next 1,500. Take care, everyone. Take care, Ravenscroft. Thank you so much. It's great to have you. It's great to have another Blake 7 fan here. You know, you're amazing. Max says, I'm off, everyone. I have a headache from flying yesterday. Good night. Congratulations, Clobby.
Feel
Max, thank you, my brother. We love you, bud. And thanks thanks for all you do. Just got a major piece of Trek history. Going to do a video on it soon. It's the most valuable prop I own. Gary, can we find Gary's channel and put a link into it here?
Yeah, somebody put that up.
I'm sure I'm subbed. And Andy Masterson, your channel as well, Pug. Hey,
yes,
I thought I saw Putin's cat. I did saw Putin's cat. What's up? What's up, Putin's cat?
And what's his address so I can go visit and see these props in person? Just kidding. Yeah. Just joking. Just joking. Yeah.
How do we find
the history?
How do we find Gary's channel?
I'm sure
we got lots of cool wrenches in here.
Fee's here. Fee will go grab it. Don't worry about it.
Does she know it? I mean, we got to know what
No. Fee knows very well. She knows Andy too. She hangs out over at Doomy's. She knows.
Here it is. Yep, I got it. Oh, JT Kirk got it. He beat me.
Got it. Cool. Because I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to it, but I want to make sure.
You know, I wasn't subbed, so I just resubbed. I had to have been subbed to.
Why aren't you subbed
Gary?
To Gary?
I just subbed now, but
what's your problem even? Damn it, Mark!
I got lots of problems.
Do you now? Do you know?
Oh, Belmonte!
Oliver, what's up, buddy? I should be subscribed to Andy, but I am now for sure. There we go. I mean, to Gary. I know I'm subscribed to Andy, but let's just in case, let's get Andy's up there as well, because I know
Andy makes beautiful things.
Oh, he makes the coolest stuff ever.
Yeah.
Listen, Ravenscroft, you have to be careful though, because sometimes Gary will blow himself up. He's pyrotechnics. He's a pyromaniac. You have to be careful. I worry about him.
It's always fun to melt things.
He does. He blows things up. He does. On camera.
Why do you think I joined Scouts so I could make big fires in the woods, right? I mean, come on.
Laboratory of Mayhem is the name of Andy's, I think he says. Let's see.
Yep.
I'll go look for it.
Oh, Gary had a recent video where he restored one of the barrels from Jaws. Very, very cool. Yeah. They're both cool guys. I love those guys. Okay, should we start the Night Stalker?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, first I just want to say that the Beacons have been detained doing something else this evening. Oh, wait. Now the opposite of Gary Ambrosia. No good Brogu is calling it a night. Good night, beautiful Raquel. You're so wonderful. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. And always remember, this is the way. You know, it's a massive compliment that you would say that Clobby's channel is the way. I just love you, Brogu. You are such a charming, wonderful Southern gentleman. I'm just sending my love to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And have a wonderful weekend. Maybe I'll see you on Saturday night.
Brogu from my old hometown, buddy. Thanks for being here. Have a great one.
Oh, no, Andy, I'm not too kind. I mean it. You're incredibly talented, and I love your company. You are so smart, funny, and kind. I love hanging out with you and Gary. Okay, let's get to it. So the Beacons, they have a lot on their plate this week, so they're not here, but you wouldn't believe what they did. They scanned the book anyway. So tonight I'm going to be reading from the Night Stalker Companion. This is episode 8, Kolchak, Bad Medicine. It's also known as the Diablero, not Diablo, but Diablero. Its original air date was November 29th, 1974. And I just want to thank the Beacons for sending us this synopsis from this book. I have not pre-read this, so it might be a little rough. Sorry, folks. Here we go. Several of Chicago's wealthiest women are being murdered by a stalking creature that takes different animal forms. One sees the creature as a bird. Another sees it as a coyote. In each case, however, the creature turns into a towering American Indian capable of holding his helpless victim in a hypnotic trance. After stealing the most expensive gems, the diabolic giant killer vanishes into thin air. The deaths are called suicides by police, but INS reporter Carl Kolchak knows these are murders when he learns about the missing jewels. Following a police alert to a gem exchange building, Kolchak sees the evil and powerful spirit in action. The police find 2 guards shot dead with their own guns. The chase leads to the roof, where Kolchak and the police watch a 7-foot Indian jump off the roof. But when they look to the sidewalk, nothing is there. Once again, the eerie presence has vanished. At an exhibit of Native American artifacts, Kolchak recognizes the outfit worn by the Indian at the gem exchange. It's a costume of a tribal sorcerer. An elderly Indian, Charles Rolling Thunder, tells Kolchak the legend of Diablero, an ancient sorcerer who was able to assume different animal forms. According to the legend, the Diablero was part of a cliff-dwelling tribe. After using his evil magic, the Diablero was cursed to travel through history as a spirit until he has rebuilt the treasure stolen from the tribe. The eyes are everything to the Diablero. With them, he can transfix his victims, but his eyes are also the secret to his defeat. Bright light will temporarily blind him and break his power. He will be destroyed if he gazes at his own reflection. Knowing that the Diablero is a cliff dweller, Kolchak heads to the top of the tallest unfinished building in Chicago. He's armed with his camera's flash and a mirror. The reporter is forced to improvise his battle strategy, but faced with his own reflection, the Diablero turns into dust. And that is all the Night Stalker Companion has to say about episode 8, Bad Medicine. So, boys, tell me, what'd you think of Bad Medicine?
This one's always creeped me out as a kid. I remember watching this one with my dad when it first came on the air. And I guess it was 74, right? Or was it 73, 74 there?
It's 74, boss. 74.
Yeah. Oh, man. It was just, it was pretty spooky stuff. Of course, the great Richard Keel.
Boss man, I have to interject because
yes.
Folks in the chat are saying that the wrong show poster is up. You have the Devil's Platform up there.
Oh, I forgot to change the name. Sorry. Oopies.
Damn it, Mark.
Come on, damn it, Mark.
You're agonizing, please.
Damn it,
I just
Mark.
did that to see if anyone noticed it.
Yes.
Yes, but then finally someone did.
Pain
Yeah.
stick, and I know where to put it. Anyway,
ouch.
Yeah, but I'll let Mark go first. I always thought this was a creepy one, but we'd let Mark go first.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of fun watching this on the watch party last night. Yeah, so it's kind of a creepy, Richard Keel portrayal. I think he does a good job with it, and it's I guess he's classified as a demigod or Titan. How would you, as a magic user that's been cursed. So it's an eerie story because he's been living forever. So he's got to collect, he's got to collect all this treasure, repay this treasure he's stolen. And of course, no one believes Kolchak at the time too, right? Which is typical. and again, he doesn't get a story published, right? So yeah, it's he does all this work and then nothing nothing to show for it. So it's but it's, yeah, it's and it's eerie, the social, they have the socialites getting killed, right? And then of course they're saying it's self-deletion, and Kolchak knows it's not, it's not this, and then he catches this you know Native American changing form, changing shape right in front of him, and he's going nuts. I mean, if you saw something like that, and then again, Kolchak's never scared of anything either, right? So he just goes up at the end of this episode, and he doesn't. There's no way I'm going up there alone, armed with my my little camera there, and he no fear on Kolchak,
And then he
he's
clumsily breaks the mirror.
yeah, and then he just breaks the mirror, and
Nincompoop.
yeah, total nincompoop.
He has a death wish. I'm serious. He has a death wish. This guy is not mentally well. Kolchak has a death wish.
Yeah, so it's unbelievable how fearless how fearless he is, but that's what you love about the character. And of course, there's the great scenes in the newspaper office where they're arguing, and who is the sweet little old lady that's defending
Miss Emily?
Kolchak, or that's Emily? Thank
Well,
you.
she does the Miss Emily article.
Yeah, and but she's pointing out that Kolchak's right. It wasn't a self deletion. It didn't make sense, and it's like, thank you, Miss Emily. And it just, they're so natural in those scenes. And his boss says, there's no way I'd send you to even to cover this story. You're too rough around the edges, and you're not even dressed right. And in the Kolchak, he says, I'm going to show you. So yeah, it's just really well done episode all around, and great. I really like this one. I thought it was very well done. And Richard Kiel is a formidable opponent. We all know him as Jaws from James Bond, among other shows. But he's got a great presence, and how can he not with this which is huge physique. But I love the shape shifting aspect of it, and they show you just enough to creep you out. So it's really well done, and it's also fun watching this late at night. So we're gonna start doing, we've been doing that lately. Watch it after the Wild Card Wednesday show. Do these watch parties. So you gotta kind of watch Kolchak, the Night Stalker, late at night, right? I mean,
yeah, it's fun.
You can't watch it
in the dark.
In the dark, right? Yeah. So you can't watch it during the daytime.
No.
It's got to be at night. So and that's what makes it so just such a scary show. And what's great is how good the performances are too. So everyone, is so believable as all their characters. So I just really, I'd give this one an A. It's a really good episode. And of course, Kolchak, at the end, he's just the line, he's left with the feathers. And actually, I did have a song that I made, thanks to Tom from Midnight's Edge, who was showing me how to do that AI. So here's a super creepy version of the end song. We'll play a few seconds of it, but it was playing around with the AI last night. So here's the end song that I create. Well, I didn't create, but
Gross.
Yeah, watch. That's kind of creepy. Watch this.
No,
Or listen to this. So we can.
Is it bad?
It's just kind of.
On that floor. Not even ashes. Baker and the police have ruled the case closed, all in the public interest, of course. But there is the matter of those stolen gems.
That's spooky.
Nope, I'm gonna take my headphones out now.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Sorry. Well, I played it last night, but it was just sorry, Raquel. But
Did you stop it?
I did stop it. Yes.
Good.
As soon as you got too scared, but isn't that's just so eerie? So people liked how creepy it was last night. It did put you in the Kolchak state of mind. But yeah, just think of the guts that it takes to
Agreed,
do
Fiona.
this.
It was a scary episode.
Yes, totally scary.
Yeah, and at the end, it's he's a cursed being. So in the end, he finally gets his release, I guess, right? So it's not it's tragic, but he finally is probably better off instead of.
Is anyone going to sing Engelbert Humperdinck here? Please release me, let me go.
Oh, no.
Clobby, give me a little Engelbert Humperdinck here.
I know my grandmother used to like that song. Please release me, let me go. That one?
Yes, that's the one.
Or I don't give a crap about you anymore, you dumbass. Oh, I'm sorry. I may have messed the lyrics up a little bit.
It's good. It's good stuff. Thank you. Thank you. You always have my back, Captain. Thank you.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Good old Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yep. This I'm waiting for the episode where there's a cop that doesn't hate Kolchak.
The cops always hate Kolchak.
Andy Madison, mine too. My mom and my grandmother, they love him. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think you find too many people below the age of 40 who's ever even heard of him, but
yeah, they haven't heard of him. Yeah. He helped to keep the men's feather going. The men's feathered hairdo. He kept it going for sure.
Wow, Mars Monkey Mass has some of his vinyls.
Ooh, you have vinyls. Ooh.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's see. Anything else, Mark?
Well, let me see if I've got some show. Let me pull up IMDb, and I had a few show notes. But if you want to talk about it,
I was just gonna say, I remember this one. I remember a lot of them from when they first aired, and then later at the Whole of Justice. No, later they used to show it on CBS late night. They brought it back somewhere in the 80s or something, and used to show them, and again, as is appropriate, late at night, later than the network run, which is the best when this is on really late at night and spooky. And so it was always fun watching them at night, and this show was still to this day very good at being creepy and atmospheric, and you got to love that. And of course, he's just so good. He's such a great character because everybody hates Kolchak. The cops hate him. Everybody hates him, and yet you, the viewer, can't help but love him. It's just something about it. And that again is a testament to the writing and the performance of Darren McGavin. He's so great. I say it every week. I rant and rave about him every week, but he's good. Simon Oakland is also great. You got to feel sorry for Vincenzo, man. But one thing I ask Mark every week though is, does he ever have a story published?
Not yet, right?
It doesn't seem like he's ever had one published. I don't know what obviously he makes a living, I guess, but that's true. Miss Emily liked him.
Yeah.
Uptight didn't like him.
Uptight, yeah. He's a great character too, yeah.
Yeah. The cops
little game Emily plays on Uptight with Kolchak in this.
That was funny.
Was a lot of fun.
Yeah, hilarious scene. Yeah, with the phone thing. Miss Emily's like, she shouldn't even. She's so mischievous. Carl, she just does it because she likes Carl. I guess she likes messing with Uptight too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a great point. Yeah, that was one of the all-time great scenes, I think.
It's a good scene.
It reminded me of Ferris Bueller's Day Off when Ferris is on the fake.
I also miss phone books. I would just like to say that I miss phone books.
Yeah, the bit earlier with the phone books and the yellow pages. People, I always hate why are people ripping out the letters pages. I mean the yellow pages like that.
In the phone booths, it was particularly maddening.
Oh God, yeah. If you go to a phone booth, some jackass has just ripped it out. The page you need to find.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Has there been have they made phone books in the past ever? Did they make them at all?
One at work. I got one at work for the yellow pages. They sent it was very thin, but they sent us some yellow pages. It was actually kind of nice in a retro way to flip through the yellow pages as small as they were and see a few ads. But back in the day, I mean, I remember that was a big deal. Like I had a friend who had a vacuum cleaner business, and it was how much money he was going to spend, and it was important to his business. I mean, you had to be in the yellow pages to advertise.
Because if you have a problem, you open the yellow pages.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, Fiona. Darren McGavin was the $6 Million Man's boss in the pilot before Oscar Gilman. He was the first pilot. And that was around the same time as he met Richard Anderson, who plays Oscar Golden in the second Night Stalker movie, The Night Strangler. So anyway, this is a good one. He almost, at the beginning there was a threat. He threatened it. He was going to go out and buy a new suit, but he got sidetracked.
That's one of the best scenes in the whole show, because of course he threatens to go get a new suit, but ultimately he doesn't get the new suit. Nirot to knock him on the bear.
Next man the bear. Good to see you. JT says, I just got a Yellow Pages in the past 6 months. I've seen omnibus sticker. Meaning, yeah, okay. I went straight into the recycle bin. Wow. The Rot says, yes, they do. I save my new phone book every year. They're less than an inch thick these days.
Wow.
Because, there aren't too many landlines anymore. They put cell phones numbers in them.
Which is a huge mistake because, in a tornado, the phone worked. Now it's like the power goes out, your phone doesn't work unless you have a cell phone.
Yep, landlines are around, but there are not many of them anymore.
No, they're all digital, and having a digital landline is useless. When the power goes out, you're screwed.
Well, my mom still has a POTS line. I made sure she had one. She keeps trying to cancel, but I said, no, you're not allowed to. Because she gets flooded where she lives. I'm like, and that's the one thing that never went out when we got flooded with some hurricanes was the telephone line kept working, not the interwebs or anything else. Yep.
Fiona, no more late night shopping channel for you. That's it. You're done. And especially if it's a Japanese Ginsu presenter.
Yeah. So what you got, Mark?
Oh, so here's a couple of show notes. So producers like Richard Keel's performance as D.L. Bro so much, they asked him to portray the Cajun bogeyman in the Spanish Moss Murders the very next week.
Oh, wow.
The German command Sitzen sei dort, given by the dog, I can't pronounce it, but dog trainer Schwartz said over means sit you there. So I guess that was real German. This is the final TV appearance of Riza Royce, who acted in the silent film era. One of the night shots of Chicago is actually Boston, Massachusetts, made evident by the Prudential Tower, the John Hancock Tower, and the famous Citgo sign in Kenmore Square. Yeah, and that's right. I saw that, and I said, "Isn't that on the Charles River?" So that was fun because they were talking about that last night. And actually, when they're going through the building, and it's supposed to be Chicago, and you see BX cable everywhere. And my business is, for making tools for electricians, and we don't sell any of our tools to Chicago because it's all the pipe fitters. There's no cable allowed to be installed, BX cable, Romex cable allowed to be installed in Chicago. It's all in pipes, which is very, very safe and secure, but costs a lot more money. So, that's not Chicago. If any union guys saw that, that'd be big trouble.
John has to scoot.
John.
Good night, John. And I'm saying good night to you, but you're about to start work. So have a good day at work. Be safe and be thinking of you. And maybe we'll see you on Saturday night.
Take care.
Yeah, night, take care, John. Good to see you, man.
There's another couple ones. Yeah, when Carl's talking to Dr. Temple in front of the Diablero statue, the back of his running shoes can be seen. The Adidas emblem is blacked out by shoe polish because they didn't get permission to show the brand on the air. And minor, and a couple of minor things here, but continuity. When Kolchak storms out of the office, he forgets the photograph of the dog on the desk, and that was such a cool scene when I loved that he had that picture of the dog, and Vincenzo said, "What? So what? It's a dog, right?" And he forgets the photograph in the next scene. He has it in his hands. Actual errors. Kolchak alleges the crown jewels of France were stolen by the Diablo. In fact, the French crown jewels were stolen by rioters in 1792, but almost all were later recovered and are now on display at the Louvre. The Sansei diamond and the French blue diamond were lost, although it's now believed that the latter was recut and is now known as the Hope diamond. Let's see here. Kolchak states the story happens in mid-November, but the weather is bright and sunny. In Chicago, you'd see snow. Yeah, we're talking about that. Is there ever any bad weather? If you look real closely, when Kolchak takes a picture of the dead, quote unquote, dead doggy, you can see him move an ear, but that's okay. We don't mind that. mind the dog. So, and the other thing I found out too was that the Kolchak camera was interested. I was like, it looks like it's 110, and I'm a camera nut, and I'm like, it looks like it's a 110 camera, but it's not. It's actually a Rolly 16S, which is actually a very expensive camera and very high quality. So it's kind of they were talking about that. It's like a kind of an in joke where Kolchak is using this camera. I just put the link into this article, and they say they call it the Rolls Royce of the sub miniature camera. Beautiful, expensive, and arguably the best of its type 16mm sub mini film ever made. In short, it was very unlike the very pedestrian Kolchak character in terms of his dress and he's not a fancy guy as the writers could possibly find, and very unlike a Kolchak camera. Yet it was arguably a good choice for him, as a Rolly 16S was small and compact for its time and very easy to use, even for a non-photographer like good old Carl. Most Kolchak fans did not know enough about cameras to be on the joke, and what that makes the joke much funnier. But it brings up another question: what inside Kolchak jokes await discovery for the dedicated Kolchak archaeologists? So here's a picture of the. I'll just show real quick here a picture of the camera, because if you're a camera nerd, you kind of like this stuff. So yeah, because it looks like if everyone remembers those cheap 110 cameras, I had a ton of those, or I'd bring those on a trip. So it's a small camera, but here it is, and they're pretty expensive. I was looking on them on eBay. They're around $200 to buy on eBay, but that's the Kolchak camera there, and the viewfinder. That's that viewfinder sliding out on the end there. So it's a really cool idea that you would have, a reporter would want to have a compact camera like that, something that's not, really heavy and bulky, and it makes sense that it would use something small like this. So that's a modern camera, the elf camera, which I actually have that camera, which is really, so it's a small camera there. So that's the article on this. What's the person's website, so we give them credit? It's what's his name here? Oh, the cameraquest.com. So thank you for that. Thank you for that article, Mr. CameraQuest. Yep. So there's a link is there, so in the chat. So check it out if you're a camera bug. Very cool, I thought.
Let's see. Oh,
that.
No, I'm sorry. I thought I was muted. Well, it's pretty amazing stuff. Richard Keel, of course. People always just talk about Jaws, but we also we forget that he was in one of the greatest Twilight Zone episodes of them all, To Serve Man. The alien.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep. And I met him once. Nice old man. It was a nice old filler. But yeah, Jaws. I guess Jaws would be his most famous thing, probably, right? I mean, playing Jaws in Bond's movies, not the movie about the sharks, in case anyone's wondering.
Yeah.
Me and Moonraker, of course, and Dolly had braces.
She did. Yep.
Dolly had braces. Princess Fiona, don't hit me. I think the princess was posting about that the other day. I was there. Damn it. So anyway,
it's a cookbook. I got to clip that one.
It's a cookbook. Son Lee. Hey, Son Lee. What's up, man?
That's one of the greatest scary. We talk about how scary this episode was, and then how scary was that Twilight Zone episode where you realize he's going all the way to the Canaanite planet, and they're trying to feed him food, fatten him up, and he finally eats at the end, but he realizes he's just gonna be eaten. It's terrifying, and not in a gory, horrific way. It's all terror of the mind, which is so beautiful. Yeah,
that's the worst.
Yeah,
that's why you don't need gore.
Yeah, no, it's not on the Blu-ray film. In fact, it's not on the DVDs. It hasn't been since they started remastering these things since the 90s. But at the theater when I was there, and many swear to it and some don't. But I think I know what I saw in 1979, and for years on cable, but one of these days I'm gonna have somebody pull out the VHS, their original VHSs or cable recordings. But yeah, it is. But we've had fun with that for years around here.
I mean, it shocked me. Yeah,
can't find a 35 millimeter print with it. Yeah, I hear you.
No, it's true, but it shocked the heck. It shocked.
I remember some as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember like all my friends, where I mentioned other friends who didn't know the controversy, and they're like, "What? Of course she had braces." And it's like, I guess there's a glitch in the matrix, because then I went to look at my DVD that night, and I'm like, "My God, the braces aren't on." But it's one of those things, like, well, it's a life constant, like, TOS is an amazing series. It's like, what?
Well, the girl who plays the character said that she never had braces, so I'm willing to buy into that. At the theaters and stuff at the time, that was some kind of the light messed with you in a certain way, and maybe we thought she did and stuff. But it makes more, and it certainly, since it's something that would make sense in the story that she would, we bought into it, and maybe our minds fill in the blank. I don't know, but boy, oh boy, I know what I saw.
I saw it too. Yep.
Did you? Did
you see it in the movie theater, Raquel?
I have Moonraker on VHS, several different versions. And what's that?
Oh no, I was asking Raquel. Have you seen that in the movie theater?
I saw it at the drive-in. I didn't see it at the movie theater.
Fiona.
Yes, that's true, Fiona. That's
like you men were looking at. I happen to enjoy braces, Fiona. How dare you?
What size braces were those? Double D?
Yeah. There was something braced all right.
Fiona for the win. I love you, Fiona. We miss you so much.
I love Fiona.
You are awesome. So what did you rate this episode, number one?
I thought that this was a really great episode. I thought it was really funny. I liked the brown bag lunch and then cut to the dark city from the perspective of the automobile. I love that. I liked the fact that the author chose to kill 2 elderly women and then a dog, because if you really want to signal that something is truly evil, have it kill a pet, have it kill an elderly person or a pet. That is the way to get the viewer or the reader alongside that you are dealing with pure, unadulterated evil. I love that scene where he goes to buy the suit and then he doesn't. I used to have a very beautiful, very important Doberman, the son of Boleyn's Hot Topic, the dagger, my beautiful boy Blaze. And so I just wanted to say how wonderful it was to see that beautiful Doberman. I love my Chihuahuas very much. They're like Dobermans, only their poops are like Tootsie Rolls instead of something that fills the backyard. But I do miss my Doberman so much. He was my Scooby-Doo. He was my everything. I miss you, Blaze. I absolutely love all of the bombs that were dropped by Kolchak here, especially, I'm just saying, I don't know a Chippewa from a Chippendale.
That was a great line, yeah.
So he has to go and be schooled by the museum attendant and the museum expert, which I thought was just hysterical. She was some type of professor or curator. And but the Chippewa from a Chippendale, I mean, if that doesn't make you at least, emit a stifled snort, you have no sense of ha-ha. So really good stuff. And I too absolutely love the adorable, the charming, the level-headed Emily. I just think that she's not all the way for Kolchak, but it's very clear that she knows that he's telling the truth, but it doesn't want to fully give in to the fact that that everything he's saying is true in front of everyone, because then everyone will think that she is completely whack. So I love Emily. I love Emily's holy water. I love her phone tricks. Of course, the phone skit I thought was hysterical. And this is This is the time I grew up in. This is the TV that I grew up watching. I love this stuff. It's creepy. It's scary. It's very, very well done. It's wonderful entertainment. Watch it in the dark if you dare. It's an A for me.
Before Mark gives his, if anyone has any rating or review you may have of the episode, if you watched it, if not, no biggie. But if you have anything, now's the time. Mark?
Oh, definite A. And I started hearing the Addams Family theme as Raquel was reciting the creepy and the kooky. I'm not going to try to sing it because I can't sing, but yeah, but it's in a wonderful, wonderful way that the story, as horrible and creepy as it is, there's some great humanity in it, and great characters, and so it's a definite definite A. I think this one of my. I really like this one. That's one of my favorite ones. Yeah.
Our buddy, wait a minute. So say,
Hey.
sorry,
Hey, Paulie.
Paulie.
That's cool, buddy. I figured you were busy. Was it an early time? And I know it's earlier over there. I just shot you an invite just in case because you're my bud. I mean, you were the first friend I made over here on YouTube. So, like I said, but I know you're a busy man. I'm just thrilled to see you here, brother. Hope you're doing well. Everyone, my good buddy Paulie at Latino Slant, they're a great channel, a great friend of this show, and great friend of mine. Love you, buddy. And if you have not already, of course, there's a link in my description below. There's a link right there.
There, yep.
Please subscribe to his great channel. He's got great stuff throughout the week. Buddy, I hope you're doing well, man. We need to, it's been a while since we've been able to hang and stuff, but hope we can soon, and hope we can talk soon. You're the buddy. You're the man. Again, like I say, the first pal I made here on YouTube. Two new channels starting out almost. Wow, holy crap. Almost like 5 years ago now, almost. Something like
5
that.
years. Wow.
Well, 2020, is that 5 or 4 years?
That's 4, but
4
math
years.
is hard. Yeah.
4 years. Math is hard. So, yeah.
Spelling's even tougher.
Yeah. Good to see you, brother. Thank you so much. Love you, man. Sorry, Mark. Good.
Oh, no, it's all good. No, hail to Paula. Yep. Go, everyone.
Hail Paulie.
Check out his channel, of course. I'm sure everyone here is already sub, but yeah, just in case. Yep, just in case. Go check out great coverage on entertainment. Just
indeed
awesome stuff, and great newsletter. Yeah, his emails are looking so. I love getting the newsletters. Yeah, they're so go if you're a channel member. Yeah, great wrap up and great stuff. It's very professional, so it's great stuff that people are doing on YouTube versus some of the big companies. So it's great to see. But yeah, just really enjoyed this. It was one of my favorite episodes so far. I mean, I haven't watched these in years and years and years, so it's almost like, with your memory going back, it's like, I think, did I watch this? So this is like getting to watch them for the first time again. I guess it was just one of the only good things about
good thing about bad memory.
We're not having as I always say, a photogenic memory. My memory's not that photogenic sometimes, so it's not so bad. So Keel is good in this one, and Kolchak is just such a human person. With Darren McGavin's portrayal is brilliant in this. So
he's so great. Yeah.
I hope to see everyone at the watch parties, and you haven't gotten a chance to watch it. I don't know, where is this on any of the streaming services? It's got to be. I don't know if it's on Tubi or it's got to be out there, right?
No.
There is a Blu-ray that I've got to get of this. I have the DVDs, but I wonder where this is streaming.
If you're referring to that next episode of Dr. Watt, I'm probably going to be dumb enough to watch it. Yeah. I'm an idiot. So,
it's on the NBC app, NBC.com, it looks like.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. So you can find it. Yeah, you can find it in different servers. So it's not unobtainium, which is good. So
yeah.
Peacock. It looks like a peacock. Yeah.
Okay. I too give it an A. I love it. I've seen them all. Hey, Michael Beacom, what's up, buddy? He says, hi guys, can't stay, but just want to say, well, hi to you and the wonderful Cassandra and your youngin, and it's good to see you there, my friend. So we all salute you, sir.
Hail to Michael Beacom.
Thank you so much for the notes tonight. Thank you for sending me the scan of the summary. You know I love you for it. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just But I give it an A also. I loved it. I remember, again, like I said, there are episodes I remember just in general because I've watched them so many times over the years. But there's some that reach into a different sphere because I mean, I know I watched them all when they're on the air originally in the 74, I believe, or I think I did. Well, I was so young, maybe not all of them. But I used to sit up with my dad and watch it. You know, it was late at night. And there are a couple that stand out that I just remember in general, and other ones that stand out that I know I sat and watched it with my dad at times, and this was one of them. There are a couple other ones that are like that. Other ones are just all over the place, but this one, for some reason, I don't know exactly why, but it stands out that way. And like I said, Keel's terrific. Kolchak's just such a great character, and yeah, I love it. So let's see if anyone else had anything to say. Like Fiona didn't review it, but she said, no hero has ever bumbled into victory so many times as Kolchak. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So great. Another great episode. It's a lot of fun. Tetrarch says, please spare yourself. DC is inflicting new who on himself. Is Doomcock watching it? Yeah, and he's reviewing it. He has to sit through it. Oh, and I think he's forcing the panel to watch it. I hear you, Tetrarch, but I'm a Doctor Who fan of 42 years, and I'm so angry and disgusted by what they're doing. I want to be able to arm myself with the info so I can talk about it, but it's getting to the point I may not be able to do it anymore. It's so horrible, but I guess I've come to the conclusion I could sit through any old trash and then deal with the consequences. So I'm going to stop at some point, I hope. But I thank you. Appreciate you.
Well, we did watch Strange Nude Worms together, right?
That's not on anymore, isn't it? Oh, it's coming back.
Well, it's coming back, unfortunately. Sorry.
I don't know. It remains to be seen. TBD.
Well, we do have fun watching it together. That made it tolerable.
Yeah,
That's a no. That's a no.
Well, but we do have fun making fun of it.
Yeah,
no.
we did have a good
I laugh
time
at this
doing
crap.
that.
I do laugh at this crap now, but because it's not really Doctor Who, it's not really Star Trek, it's not really Star Wars anymore. So it's not really Marvel anymore. Not a Marvel movie. It's all pap. Oh boy. So we got a question for you. Number one, Oliver was asking you something. Oliver said, Raquel, which among the horror films you watched had unforgettable endings? Ken David smiling in The Omen. I like she watched that. Carrie's Bloody Hand. No way she watched that. Or unforgettable to me. So I'm going to say you didn't watch either one of those. Am I wrong?
I did not watch any of these all the way through. I grew up with a person who watched this stuff religiously, like loved it, watched every second of it. I always thought it was demented, and I never enjoyed it. And all of it frightened me. I didn't like it. I don't think that. And the worst thing is, like, people need to understand is that a lot of those stories from the 1970s horror films are actually based on a true story. So like think like sort of like Lizzie Borden. Think of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. These are true stories. And so if you grew up in the 70s like I did, that's some pretty sick shit. And so it's just I
can't stand that stuff.
There's no fun in it. It actually feels really dark, and somebody like that would have to be mentally disturbed to in order to like that.
I'm the same way. I don't like it.
I don't like it. There are some things that I saw glimpses of, but I just completely walked away from because it was just demented. The Carrie thing, the Omen thing, the Amityville thing, which all of those I believe are based on true story, with the exception of the Carrie thing.
I don't think Carrie was. That's Stephen King.
No, that's Stephen King, but the other two were. The stupid Phantom of the Paradise, I found that to be incredibly creepy when I was a kid.
Disturbing. Yeah.
I thought it was beyond evil. And there was a movie called I Will Fear No Evil. That was a truly sick movie.
What was that about?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch it.
I don't like them either.
I just caught glimpses of them because like I said, I grew up with somebody who was like a diehard into horror. But like I said, I think it's like really demented because a lot of that from my generation, Gen X, they are based on true stories, like people who have killed their whole family, people who lost their mind, people who were killed during an exorcism, people who were just completely psychotic and they went unmedicated and did terrible things. So I never enjoyed any of that stuff. I don't know why that person who I grew up with liked that kind of stuff, but I just I don't know what to say. I could never ever watch that. I could never ever watch that kind of stuff. It represents the very worst of humanity, and it's just such a terrible, dark and awful thing to expose your mind to. I actually think that it's like really bad for your brain, and I think it's really bad for your soul, because I think you should wake up wanting to do beautiful things for yourself and others, and to feel love and to feel happy and to want to bring light and love into the lives of the people who you have the honor and the privilege of knowing. So it's just, that is not a way that I would want to spend my time, especially, like I said, because I'm Gen X, and a lot of those stories were true. Not the Carrie, but the other sick stuff, the sicko stuff. A lot of that's based on a true story. So it's a no for me. And to answer your question, all of it really, really frightened me. I think that is a place we shouldn't go as a society. I don't think anyone should watch that. I think it ruins your brain.
Although I have a second. Oh.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, I can see why people do. Some people just do love horror. I used to love more of the slasher stuff when I was younger, but some people find it cathartic or release, or so it's just not for me. Not my cup of tea these days. I'd prefer something with a little more, something. I shouldn't say intelligence, but the creepiness without all the gore. Maybe I just can't take the gore like I used to. But I can see why people do like some of that stuff, but some of it borderlines on so creepy and so over the top now. That new horror movie, I'm trying to remember the name of it, that was just, people were just so revolted they had to leave the theaters.
Oh.
I can't even remember the name of the creature, but it was just so horrendous.
Yeah.
And it became kind of the thing. I can't remember what it was, out over the last 6 months, but real creepy horror clown that was doing stuff I won't say. I mean, this is versus, when people first saw King Kong in the movie theater, they were so scared they were, jumping out of the seats or leaving the movie theater, when, today that would be almost laughable. But but I guess it's to each their own. But some of the stuff that people watch, it's just I shouldn't say people watch, but some of the stuff that's created, it's can be so sick. But of course, we talk about like that X-Files episode.
What's that one called again?
What with the people
Home.
under the home?
Yeah, I won't be watching that. I've been looking out for it too. Have you been watching the show? I have. I watched the show passively because I find it kind of formulaic. I find it kind of boring.
Right.
Because it's no other way of saying it. It's very formulaic. I don't see any difference. It's just like there are 4 different types of X-Files story, and sometimes they're back to back, and sometimes they mix them up.
Yep.
Okay.
But I mean, an episode like Home, I mean, there can be a point to showing something that horrific too. It just depends on how it's portrayed, I guess, or eye of the beholder. But that episode is woof. That's
no, you don't want to touch that one.
No, not Raquel, but I'm saying
no,
not that I want to watch it, but I
don't want to watch it. I watched it once.
I shouldn't say I enjoyed watching it, but I appreciated what they were trying to accomplish with the episode, and they didn't think it would be that controversial. Of course, maybe get your head examined on that one, but it's
that damn episode
scary.
Turned me off of X-Files.
Yeah, I don't like evil, and I already think we already face enough, like the religious stuff. I don't like that stuff. But just aside of that, telling people's horror stories of pure evil and violence when our world is already with all
Plenty of it
that.
going on in the real world. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I
Yeah.
just don't think it's good for your brain. Like, let's put it this way, like I really love H.G. Wells. Like, do you remember like when Gene Roddenberry said that it's not that he wanted to live forever, he just wanted to see what happens? That's how I feel when I read The Time Machine. I've read The Time Machine a few times by H.G. Wells. It's like, so that's so much fun. But The Island of Dr. Moreau is pretty gruesome. But at the same time, like,
Right.
it's like vivisection and all these things. But the thing is that with The Island of Dr. Moreau, it's really a lesson about hubris. It's really a lesson about the dangers of science and medicine if left unchecked. And so there's a rhyme and a reason to it. But the pure horror that delved into the sicko minds of some of society's most demented and effed up people that was concentrated in the 70s, I think it was wrong. I think it's morally and ethically wrong to show that to people. But the dead teenager movies that Clobby calls them, that's totally different. Like I understand that people watch like
I hate those.
The what's the guy with the striped shirt that goes in your dreams?
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy. Like I understand
I love him.
People laugh and say, oh, that's just silly stuff. But it's very important to realize that the 1970s horror is very different from the 1980s horror. And I don't think that kind of stuff is good for your brain, but particularly the 1970s horror that depicted real life happenings, truly demented stuff that is just bleach my brain.
If there's, like, for example, I'm not the biggest fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street films, but if there's a component to it that's not just some nut running around slashing people, there's some kind of like, that's actually he's an interesting character. Because he's inside the dream realm, and he can only kill you if you're asleep, and he does it, and he cracks jokes, and we find out later what happened to him and turned that way and stuff. There's a certain, again, I don't like gore, by the way, but there's a certain creativity to it. And the kid in the dream, you can fight back. That's another thing. In the dreams, you can fight back, as opposed to if it's just and when it's Jason or Leatherface, one of these dudes, they walk up to you, they're just gonna kill you. You can't do anything about it. But in the dream, you can actually fight Freddy. And as those movies went on, the kids learn how to fight back and stuff. And that added a campy, like, fantasy element to it. I mean, if you don't like gore, you don't like gore. I don't like gore either. But I can respect anything that has some sort of creativity to it that's not just somebody running around slashing people, because it's boring anyway. Forget whether you like gore or not. It's just boring and unimaginative. And it's just stupid crap. So now Evil Dead, first Evil Dead movie is really scary, and it's nothing really humorous about it. But it was impressive that they were able to make that for no money, and it got really popular. They made it, and then when they ended up with a budget, they remade it with Evil Dead 2 and added some insane, like, cartoon humor in it, and I love it. It still got the scary stuff, but it's not so much the gore. There's gore in it, but it's the scary stuff. Is it was legitimately really disturbing, like the Deadites and stuff. Yet Bruce Campbell's such a caricature, cartoon in that thing. He's so fun to watch. It becomes like again, over the top visually for still the small budget that second one had, to be so visually amazing, created by Sam Raimi, it was so much fun. Then he made the third one, Army of Darkness, and all even pretense towards horror was gone. It takes place back in the past. He's fighting an army of the dead in the medieval times. He's such a fun character, the character of Ash. Nobody's there for the scary stuff after this one. They probably went to Evil Dead 2 for the scary stuff. For the third one, nope, they went just because we loved Ash and we loved Bruce Campbell. And I just love that movie. That's not even a horror film. And
more like a fantasy horror adventure. Yeah.
If you have a fun aspect or component to your film and there's darker stuff in it, I don't mind it. Like I said, I don't like gore either. And there's not a lot of gore in Army of Darkness. It's just pure fun, which you would even like.
I love the beautiful quote that Fiona put up. That's from That's from the H.G. Wells Island of Dr. Moreau. An animal may be ferocious and cunning enough, but it takes a real man to tell a lie. I must confess that I lost faith in the sanity of the world.
Nice.
And pay very close attention to this real man. But it takes a real man to tell a lie. If you've not read The Island of Dr. Moreau, you must. You must.
Good night, Tetrarch. Thank you for being here, my friend.
So apathetic. Good night, sweetheart.
Take care.
Yeah.
Have a great day tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I just don't like, I mean, horror movies to me used to have a certain type of meaning. Like I love the Universal horror films of the 30s. You know, whether it's Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein, the original Dracula, and Wolfman.
Those are amazing.
Those I love.
Trying to bring trying to expand Bram Stoker's world. And that's totally cool. And the Hammer films are so good. They're so good.
Fright Night, the original, is one of the greatest movies ever made, in my opinion. It's brilliant.
But you said that I'd be okay with that one.
Got to see, let's see this.
Yeah, you'd like.
There's not a lot of gore. I mean, it's scary, but scary is one thing. Gore is another. It's got. I don't think it's. I mean, it's not even that. It's got some scary moments, but the thing, it's all counterbalanced with a couple of things. Great characters. Great, it's also an action. And it's got some action in it, and it's good guys, bad guys type stuff. With, again, brilliant writing of brilliant characters. It's so good. I love it so much. And again, you got Roddy McDowall, who's just brilliant, and Chris Sarandon, who's brilliant. And I mean, is there a scary scene here and there? I guess. Is there anything really super gory? I don't think so. Not compared to a lot of the stuff that's out there. But you could, like I say, I think you might enjoy it. I don't know. It's just so well done. It's so I just love it. Sequel to it they did a few years later is not quite as good. No one even remembers it, and the remake can go straight to hell.
Yeah,
I do like
Island of Dr. Moreau is such a great book. And I'm sure that you've read it, but even just reading The Time Machine, like The Time Machine puts you in the exact place that Gene Roddenberry was talking about. The not wishing for immortality. That's not what it is. It's that, wouldn't it be great to know what becomes of us? Like what are we going to do? How will we end up? And not just, in the immediate future, but 100,000 years from now. Like, it is such a great question. And so, yeah, I love The Time Machine because it plays with that part of your brain. And I love The Island of Dr. Moreau, and you all know that I just really love H.G. Wells.
Oh, I love George Powell's Time Machine movie. I mean, that was incredible. Let's see. Movies must have consistent rules. Without those, you can't have a story, and then it's just nihilistic murder porn.
Yeah,
it's all about the gore and the jump scare. I need internal coherence.
Yeah.
It's not entertaining.
I'm not surprised she doesn't have a taste for that. I'm not surprised, Fee.
But certain movies, like I do really like the Wishmaster series. Maybe it's a little bit gory for me these days, but there was always a twist, with the djinn and the wish going wrong, or there was some kind of there was intelligence there. And of course, Julian Sands unfortunately passed away. I think it was this past year. He was lost while hiking in the wilderness. But I mean, it's got to have like Princess Fiona say, it's got to have a hook to it that makes it semi-intelligent. Like, I can't watch the Saw movies, but I guess there's puzzles and creepy things going on in there, or the final, what was it? The Final Fantasy, not the Final Fantasy, the final. What was the movie where you could see how your characters were supposed to die, but they didn't? Not Final Fantasy. What am I? But like one of those scenes where they're doing things and Final Destination, I think. Yeah, like always get scared. Like at the food disposal in the kitchen, there's a scene with it. Like, I can't watch that. Thank you, Professor R2. Final Destination. Yeah, but there's something. There's at least an added element to that stuff, and if you like it or you can get through it, that's fine. But I always liked having some kind of intelligent twist to the movie, at least, versus just a blood and guts fest. You know, I don't need to see that.
Can I ask you if you've ever read 1001 Nights?
I haven't. No. So
you should. The 1001 Nights is, and that's all of those stories. You should really read them. I read them in university, and they're marvelous.
Professor R2 and JT Kirk mentioned something interesting. I actually really like the first Final Destination film, and I'll tell you why. It is, but it isn't so much a horror film, but it's very clever. The guys, Glenn Morgan and James Wong, who did the work, I'm not the biggest X-Files fan, but they wrote a lot of the best episodes of X-Files, in my opinion, and Millennium, because a buddy of mine was a big fan of theirs. One of the first things they did when they left, working for Chris Carter, is they made that movie, Final Destination. I didn't like the other ones. And it is a really clever premise, a very clever film. It's disturbing. It's scary without ever, you never see any kind of you never see, quote unquote, you never see the evil. I don't know if you're familiar with that film, number one.
Which
Final Destination?
Yes, I saw a part of the Final Destination.
And
I watched that one, first one, yeah.
Yeah, first one I thought was pretty clever. And then after that, it was, okay, I get, same old stuff. Where these kids were supposed to be on this airplane that crashed or whatever, but they got held off. And then it crashed, and they were like, didn't make the plane because some stuff happened to them. And then it turned out they were supposed to die. And they figured that they start dying off in weird ways. It was creepy. It was weird. It was pretty well done, though. But they had to make 50 sequels.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that sounds more like Weird Tales to me, which you guys know that I love. I love Weird Tales, and I would consider the Twilight Zone Weird Tales.
This is like that. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, yeah, the only thing I didn't like about it, what turned me off when I was trying to watch it and then just gave up on it, is just too much blood and guts.
I don't think there was a lot of blood in this one, though.
Oh, okay.
That I remember.
Yeah, I just
Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, Final Destination.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the first one. Yeah, I did like it. Yeah, then they got a little bit
too.
No, but then the later ones kind of got a little more bloody. But I was just checking too. It was as you were saying, it was originally written for X-Files story as an episode of the X-Files. So that's I think I was mentioning. I can't remember what one of the stories we were reviewing. I said, "Oh, that would make a great full-length movie," and I'm forgetting which one one of the episodes we're reviewing. And yeah, it's true. A lot of these short stories, you can turn them into full screenplays. And yeah, it's death. It's really the Grim Reaper, right? Is coming to take you away. Oh my! Yeah, you can't escape. You can't escape death. So that's what these stories are. So that's
you can't escape
there's
your
something.
fate.
Yeah.
So there's something there. There's something.
It's
just not a slasher. Yep, you're right. You never do see it.
You never see anything. It just all these crazy circumstances. The accidents. Yeah.
Oh,
they gotta avoid them, and that's scarier than any monster.
Yeah.
But you guys sound like the people who can watch those videos of people hurting themselves and you laugh.
No.
I cannot watch those.
No, I don't watch that stuff.
Like sometimes you see like these super funny, super
like
famous
Jackass?
people who are like, oh, I watched this video 500 times and it's like this lady slamming her face into something or something like that. And I can't take it. Like, I think it would like disintegrate my spine to watch other people getting hurt. I just can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of scary, but yeah. I don't
like
it.
It's like that. Yeah, like that disposal scene. It's like it's going to happen. Like, don't put your hand on the disposal. It's going to go back on.
Don't put your hand inside of a disposal.
It's like,
ew.
Yeah, and it's like, oh god. Yeah. So whenever I'm working on my disposal or using the kitchen, like I was thinking Final Destination. It's like,
oh my god, Gwagnar made his own. Well, you saw this. Gwagnar made his own a wrench poster.
Look at that, Gwag.
It's because he's the greatest person.
I'm going to make you a wrench poster out of that. I'm going to figure out how exactly, but I will.
He is such a truly great person in real life.
That's
This guy
impressive,
is
yeah.
from Alberta, where I am from, and he
That's
is so
badass.
kind. Without him, I wouldn't have joined the Legion. He sent me my ring. He said, you know, do Dream Girl, I'll send you the ring. And he also sent me other presents with that. He's a very, very kind person.
You rock, Wag. I love it.
Princess Fiona was saying that the first Scream movie had some rules in it, and it could be something that could be enjoyed. And she said, but then the sequels ruined everything.
Yeah, I got dragged to see that at the theater when it first came out. Didn't care much for it, but a lot of people like them though. A lot of people like the Scream movies. In fact,
Yeah,
I
the
think
first one was fun.
I was kind of annoyed because when that came out, that genre I thought was dead forever. We would never have to see it again. And then when it came back, I'm like, oh no, that's back. Ugh. And then it became popular. Wow, I thought we were done with the dead teenager movies, but yeah. Oh,
yeah,
well.
Fee, I agree with you. I just can't. Like, I just can't. Like, it's just not who I am. I don't want to see anyone ever get hurt ever for any reason. Like, do you remember?
I'm that way too.
Do you remember that television show that had that weird guy, the weird comedian, the Bob Saget guy? It's like
America's Funniest Home Videos.
Funny Home Videos or whatever.
Yeah,
I thought that show was truly rotten in its soul. Like, I couldn't believe, like, people would get hurt and people were like,
a lot of them were
thousands of
faking
people in the audience were
Yeah,
laughing
but not
and people
seriously
were
hurt though.
Not seriously, but I think a lot of them were faking it.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
you
lot of
think
things.
just so they could get on the
Yeah.
show, but still, like,
Not everybody, but
I
yeah.
would watch that and I would just be like, why would
Just
anybody watch this? I'm going back to my books immediately.
That wasn't like today where you could believe everyone's filming everything every 5 seconds. You had to buy into the belief that, and this is again in the 80s and 90s, that someone happened to have a camera on them when someone happened to injure themselves, which was very unlikely. Now, yeah, sure.
There's cameras
people film
everywhere.
everything. But then nobody was walking around with a camera.
Mhm.
So they always filmed themselves screwing around in something. It was always so phony to me. They had these stupid sound effects. I hated that show.
But why haven't we found Bigfoot yet? If everyone's got a damn camera in their pocket, I want to see some Sasquatch
Oh,
pictures.
come on.
and
That's
Bigfoot
from
pictures.
That's Incredible. That's a different show.
That's incredible.
Do you know? I actually even feel bad for the people on Candid Camera. Do you remember Candid
I
Camera?
remember
Candid
that
Camera.
show, yeah.
That
I
was
used to feel terrible for the people who were getting fooled. I was like,
Alan-
why are you doing that to that old lady? You're going to scare that old
Alan-
lady. Don't do it.
Alan Fonten's probably got his ass kicked a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was again. But that was kind of that was when it was something kind of unique about it. It was something unique about it. People like to, wow, he's going around filming people. People like to watch that silly stuff. But,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I never liked America's Funniest Home Videos. I don't. No, look, I'm totally with you. I don't. That's another reason why I don't like horror movies, unless there's something clever, like a monster that's interesting, like again the Frankenstein's monster or Dracula, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I do. But the reason why I can't stand watching anything with supreme, really ultra violence,
Mhm.
unless it's over the top and cartoony,
Mhm.
is for the same reason you. I don't like seeing horrible things happen to people. Like when I'm seeing stuff like that, I'm going, I'm sitting here enjoying something with horrible things happening to people, and it's not even a good story behind it.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a good story, you do put up with, because a good story has to have some drama and some bad and some tragedy or whatever.
That's right.
But the thing, and I used to think, how can anybody love watching this kind of thing so much?
Yes,
However,
terrible.
I know wonderful people. Here's the problem. I could easily just condemn them if they like, but I know many wonderful people. We have many wonderful people here with us tonight, probably.
Yes.
That love horror stuff. The most horrible,
They do.
the more disturbing and sick, the better. My buddy Jay, man, the movies that boy likes, and I love teasing him about it. We joke. And we've got to know each other so well now. If he and Sean get talking about some horror movie or something, and they'll say, Cloudy, don't even listen to us. I'm telling you now, you would never watch that. You would never like that. He knows now. Like he would mention something. I go, what's that you guys talking about? Oh, trust me, you would hate it. He's like, yeah, you're probably right.
And Jay,
Jay is the salt of the earth.
Jason is, I was just going to say, he's salt of the earth. Jason is the sweetest person you have ever met.
But he
and
likes
what's
big
weirder
stuff.
is Jason writes horror. Like he's a
Yeah.
writer. Oh,
Good night,
I'm
Gary.
Good night, Gary.
Good night, Gary. Have a
Night,
good
Gary.
one, buddy.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us. I hope you had fun tonight. And remember
Indeed,
that
buddy.
invitation anytime you want to come hang out.
Anytime, my friend.
Good
Blake
night,
7
sweetheart.
props. Awesome. Yep.
Yeah, Jake, J-Man, yeah, like I said, salt of the earth, great guy. He and Sean both, but they like some messed up old horror stuff, and they laugh about it. They like all that cheesy stuff and all the sickest stuff, and like, man, I can't. When I watch stuff like that, it's not like I get scared. It doesn't really scare me. It's just like,
no,
it scares me in a different way. It scares me like when I think that it depresses me.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I agree.
Any story that has really horrible, evil things happening to somebody,
Yeah.
if it's heroic fiction,
Yeah.
I can watch it and enjoy it because I know in that heroic fiction, no matter how bad the bad guy is,
everyone will be saved.
They're doing, the hero's going to kick his ass.
That's right.
That's simplistic, I know, but that's the kind of entertainment I enjoy the most. Now, horror, usually what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to be slaughtered, and then at the end of the dumb movie, somebody's going to get lucky and maybe take out the murderer, only to have him pop back up in the next damn movie, and it's the same old shit. Like he'll kill a bunch of people, and then at the end, one of the only non-dead teenager finds a way to miraculously escape, and everybody else are dead.
The only non-dead teenager.
But the only non-dead teenagers lives through it, and that's fine. Now there's a movie that spoofed that a number of years ago called Tucker and Dale versus Evil with Alan Tudyk's in it from Firefly, which is hilarious. It's got it's got like gore in it, but it's such a great parody of dead teenager movies. It's brilliant. And it's disturbing, but it's funny because he and this other guy play a couple of dumb hick rednecks who are always the bad guys in those movies, but they turned it around. They're good guys, and it was a bunch of kids. The kids are usually the victims in these, movies in the woods, killed by hillbillies or whatever. They're the bad guys. And they
the Deliverance.
They twist it around. It's funny as hell.
Larry, that's why I didn't watch it.
There you go. Oh, look, Gwagnar says, yep, recommend it.
Recommend 100%.
Mr. R2 seen it. Yes, you've seen it. Tucker and Dale versus Evil is freaking hilarious. That'd be a good Talks Tuesday for Nick, because it's so funny. And then there was a movie called Cabin in the Woods, #1, which is
that's a good one.
It's set up like horror, but it's really science fiction.
Oh,
and it's got a lot. It's got some gory crap in it, but it's all science fiction, and it sets up.
See, I'm okay with that.
Should we tell her the premise, or is it spoiler?
No, I think we've mentioned it to her one time before. Yep.
I mean,
it's got Thor's in it.
We had Thor's in it, but before it was Thor, Chris Hemsworth.
Cool.
Basically, it starts out, it's a bunch of kids, getting to get college kids going out like they always do in those stupid movies out to a cabin.
Yeah.
Can you tell the premise without blowing anything on that?
That's
Spoiler
tough,
alert.
though, right?
Spoiler alert.
Tough,
the premise, I mean, though. In other words, someone says, hey, there's this movie about so-and-so. That's not spoilery. But it kind of is. I'll put it to you like this.
Clubby's movie was filmed in Calgary?
Which one?
Tucker and Dale was filmed in Calgary.
Oh, it's on Tubi? Yeah. Now, again, there's a couple gross scenes in it, but it's spoofing those horrible movies.
So anyways, you're talking about this cabin in the woods. So these college kids go up to this cabin in the woods, and it's the typical horror setup.
It's the typical horror setup, but there's
a twist.
Actually, you learn at the beginning what's going on. It's not what you think. And this, can you tell the premise without screwing it? Because they show you at the beginning. They don't really keep a secret of it.
No, but when you go in, at least you have that surprise as you go.
I'll put it to you like this. It's hilarious when you learn it. You learn it at the beginning. You're like, and it's not scary because that part's not scary because you know what's going on. You know this is something funny. They tell you right up front. And later it's science. It's pure science fiction. And it's a great science fiction premise and it's also it's funny because it's funny. And it's I'm not spoiling.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
You might have to have your hubby cover your eyes a few times.
Okay, I will.
Toward the end. Yeah, but still, it's got violence, but it's not like gore like a horror movie. It's
Okay, but if it's
yeah.
sci-fi, I think it will be cool. I
Would
will
you call
try
it
it. So
sci-
let me write it down.
Fiona, wouldn't you call it science fiction? Wouldn't you call it that, Mark?
Yeah, science fiction horror.
So Fright Night and
it's-
Cabin in the Woods.
The
I mean,
horror is
there's a horror element or a
the
scary element.
The
to it.
horror is a head fake.
Yeah, but there's a scary element to it.
You got it. I'm gonna watch
It's
it.
more like a Twilight Zone scary, if that makes sense.
Yes, Weird Tales. Weird Tales work
Yeah.
for
Cabin
me.
in
I
the Woods.
really enjoy Weird Tales.
Like Fiona said, that's true. It was Cabin in the Woods was written by Joss Whedon, who whatever else is wrong with him, he can write. He does know how to tell a story. That's a great writer.
Yeah.
Science fiction horror.
Whatever else is wrong
Science
with
horror. If Fiona agrees with me, right? So
Yeah, I guess horror,
Yeah.
but the horror's kind of a head fake. But yeah,
it is. Yeah,
it
yeah.
is. And it's I mean, it's crazy. It's an insane movie but it's I mean you will laugh. You go, I can't believe I'm laughing at this, but I'm laughing. It's that good. It's that clever. So yeah.
Well, guys, it's 20 after 11.
Oh, yes.
And
let's get
it's
you
a
outta here.
school night, and the pool balls have stopped smacking together
Oh.
in the basement. So I must exit stage right now,
right.
even.
Well, number one, go ahead.
Heaven to Murgatroyd.
Any closing remarks?
No, I just want to thank everyone tonight for their marvelous company. You guys are such great conversationalists. I had a marvelous time with all of you tonight. Thank you. Like, I could stay here all night thanking each and every one of you. And if we were in real life, I would, because I just love spending time with all of you. So thanks for hanging out. You guys are the best. I just love you all so much. Thank you for joining us on the Clubhouse here on CLOBBERIN Times. I want to thank Tony for joining tonight, and I want to thank all my patrons who backed my book. I wrote a little note to you in my new book, and I can't wait for it to come out. Mark, thank you for everything that you do for Clobby and I. It's been so cool to get to know you. And I'm this weirdo introvert, and I never would know you without.
You don't sound like it.
With Clobby, without
sound like
Clobby. Well, it's true. But I wouldn't know you without Clobby. So I just want to thank you for being a cool person. And Clobby, thank you for everything. And congratulations on 1,500 and 500 here. And thank you for just walking up to me that day and just knocking on my door and saying, hey, why don't you come hang out and talk about Star Trek? I immediately went over to Blog Talk Radio. You had both the channels going at the same time at that point. And I listened to you, and I realized that you were just this incredibly kind and knowledgeable and thoughtful and sincere person. And from that day forward, I'm just happy that you're my friend. So, and I think that's about it. So I've got to scoot because it's super late. I love you all. Night, Larry. Thank you for everything, Gwagnar. Good night, Stephen, Mac, Brogu, Sandli, Ezra Goldstein. Fee, I missed you. Saturday Night Star Trek is not the same without you. We are a dynamic duo. I need you. So I hope that everything that has been going on behind the scenes gets better, and I'm sorry that happened, and my heart is with you. Without prying into your life, my heart is with you. Thank you for being such a great friend to all of us. Good night, everyone. Good night, West. Good night, Ezra. Good night, everyone.
Take care, Raquel.
Number one, thank you. There we go.
Wes has a question about the new book we have available in hardcover. I believe maybe only in the U.S. I'm not sure. I know Raquel was talking about the hardcover, but I think it will be available in the U.S.
Sorry we didn't get to ask her. We'll find out though. Thank you. And again, Fiona, I know what you mean. You never can know who's whether anybody's guilty of the kind of crap that they accuse them of or not. Whedon's could be a dumbass with stupid things he says, but you never know. I truly believe Josh is a victim of overzealous Me Too cancel culture. Could be. Good night, Joe Dog. You could be right, Fiona. Like I said, I have no way of disproving that. East Kegel. What's up, East Kegel? West's brother's here. Good to see you, East.
Good to see you, East. Yep.
Well, let's see. We'll start making our way on out of here. And I want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight. Really appreciate it. It's been fantastic. As always, you all are great. And I want to thank everyone who showed up for the celebration earlier today. Let's see here. Anything to say, Mark, before we do the show notes and the shout outs?
Well, just no, it's been great hanging out with you tonight, and Raquel and everyone in the chat. Been a ton of fun, and looking forward to hanging with you on Sunday Night Geekery and and Late Night Fortnite. And of course, congratulations again on hitting 500 shows on YouTube. So here's to many more.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Where are we at? Okay, well, everyone, I want to thank you all for being here with us tonight. Some show noties. Again, I cannot thank you enough for being here earlier today for my earlier show that I did, which was 500 episodes on YouTube, 1,500 episodes overall between YouTube and BTR, and 15 years in general of talking about geekness with all of you and all my friends and everyone else. So it has been fantastic. You've all been great. Everyone was really cool hanging out. I really appreciate everyone popping in and hanging with me earlier, including my buddies Michael French with Retro Blasting, the great Tom Connors, my buddy 32 Flavors of Nick Wadzer, Brian of That 70s Rock Fan, and of course, Mark and Raquel. And I don't know if was anyone else here with us. I think that was it on the panel anyway. And everyone who was here in the chat. So thank you all so much. Tomorrow night, J-Man and Sean did pop in and say goodbye on the camera. The great J-Man's channel. Fantastic Fridays continue. J-Man and Sean and myself, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 Central. Continue our review of Jack King Kirby's legendary run on the world's greatest comic magazine, Fantastic Four 1 through 102, and annuals 1 through 6, 4 issues a night. Each Friday night. We're having a great time doing that. Love it. And just please, if you're an FF fan, it is a must. And then later that night, as always, with Nick and the Friday Night Comic Shop Boys, the great D-Bud Martin joins us for continuing coverage of Amazing Spider-Man issues from the John Romita era, the great Romita era, Amazing Spidey 53 through 56 on that one. And then Saturday Night Star Trek. Same Clubby time, same Trek time, same Clubby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, starting season 7 of Star Trek Voyager year. Set for thrilling episodes of season 7 starting up. And then, of course, in your Week in Geek of the great Mark D with the C's channel. Please go subscribe to his channel and join us 10 p.m. Eastern on Sunday nights for the Sunday Night Geekery Show. While we hang out, I am his sidekick, and we kick things in the side. We geek out, talk about usual geek stuff, and then he likes to torture us by making us hungry with the geekery and the eatery. So great stuff over there. He knows what he is, a master enabler and torturer with the food. And then back Monday, back into the grind, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 Eastern, on my buddy J-Man's channel. J-Man, Sean, and I continue our Legion of Superheroes reviews 3 times out of the month. We do it. And a complete chronology of the exploits of the 30th century's greatest superhero team. 3 Mondays of each month. Looking forward to it. We always have a great time. 1958 through 1989, every single appearance of my beloved Legion of Superheroes. And then all the usual shows after that. And to shout out our wrenches, the great Eric Cabe, the Bronze Wrencher, Chris Persia, Vindicator Wrench of the Great White North, D-Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron, Lord Thoth, God of the Wrenches, Avon lives long live the Legion, J-Man, the aforementioned Great Wrencher, fantastic Legionnaire, partner in crime on Earth B, our Maximum Redstone, Music Meister Supreme, Fanty Outside, Either Rascally Wrench, Triple Bullwinkle Wrench, Larry, Maddie's Daddy, and Kal-El. Now, let me see who is with us in the chat tonight. Let's make sure we get everyone shouted out, of course, because it is a special occasion tonight. I didn't get a chance to do it earlier. Could not be reached for further comment. Great to see you. Princess Fiona. Princess, it's so great to have you back, my dear. I'm so glad to see you. And I hope everything's going better. And thank you for popping in. It means a lot to us. West Kegel and East Kegel was here too. All right. Ezra Goldstein, shalom, my friend. Oliver Belamonte, thank you for popping in. Stephen Matt, thank you. Mars Monkey Max. Professor R2, thank you so much. JT Kirk, New Wrench. That is, New Wrench Hour. Let's see. Joe Dog, all right, my friend, good to see you. Thanks for being here. See if we can get, I think most of the other ones are up. Son Lee, yes, Son Lee, all right. I know my great buddy Paulie from Latino Slant popped in. Shout out to Paulie. Sentai Ranger Donnie. The great Gary Ambrosia. So honored to have you here earlier, buddy, and the great Andy Masterson as well. Excellent, excellent. Party time. Excellent. Now I gotta see if I get to some more of them. Cool. Takes a second, folks, to get to some I haven't read yet. Sorry. The Tetrarch of Apathy. Thank you for being here. Takes a second, folks, to get to all these. I apologize.
Yep, scrolling.
Gwagnar, buddy. Thank you for being here and all you do, buddy. Michael Beacom was here, and Cassandra Beacom, welcome. Shout out to you all and the youngster. Bop, beat a bang bang. Let's see. A lot of people, you know. I mean, it was an active chat tonight. It was busy. Chat.
Oh yeah, rocking. Yep.
I think Dadman and the Dadman clan popped in for a second.
I think so. Yep.
Yeah, Deny Narada Amanda Bear. Claude Parrish, Abel, Minimusness, Maximus Crime. Was up in you? John Platt. Thank you, John, for being here. What I do wrong? Oh, how'd I get there? Never mind. Brogu from my old hometown. I think Keely Chow was here earlier. It's Keely Chow. Ravenscroft, my good friend. Thank you. Thank you. Putin's cat. Hey, Putin's cat. I thought Putin's cat. I did talk Putin's cat. I know he probably hates that. Too bad. Now I'm probably got most of them. Probably got most of you. John Cutter from Mars. Well, SP4H. Let's see here. Up in here. Yeah, probably got most of them. There's going to be a couple stragglers, though, I feel. But I've, got most of them up in here, you guys. We wanted to get everybody shouted out tonight because I wasn't able to do it the past couple of nights. So once in a while we do. When I have them written down, it's a lot easier. Adrian James. Good. Thank you for being here, Adrian. How'd that happen? Did I do that?
I did that. Yep. Yeah. So Sean, I just saw on your Twitter, very tough situation. So I guess Sean was where the tornadoes were, unfortunately. So hope you're doing okay and you're safe. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry about that, man.
And you shouldn't have to. Shouldn't. I mean, thank you for. I'm sure CLOBBERIN Times. Thanks you for the super chat. But thinking of you, just saw that a lot of people have been affected by by his natural disaster. So
yeah, it's horrible.
Scary, and hope you're
Man, I
safe.
didn't know you were in that area. I know Loki's in that area too, but I think it looked like he has power, I guess. Sean, thank you so much for the super chat. You're too kind, buddy. I really appreciate it. It's just I've been here just lurking, trying to conserve battery power. We don't know when we'll get power back. Damn it, man. That's horrible. Dude, best of wishes to you on that one, brother. So sorry, buddy. Well, I'm gonna, even though I know we've all been there, but that's no excuse, especially this hot weather you've got up there. We've got around here. I can't take it. Picasso.
That's the worst.
It's the worst, man. Especially this time of year. But that's, of course, the time of year it usually happens, isn't it? So it's not as hot as it's gonna be, but still it's hot. It's annoying. So yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear about that, brother. Hope we get it back soon. Penny was here. Pop Culture Republic. All right, Pop Culture. The great 1701 Tex, brother. Herc 130. I almost got it. Let's see. DJ Play Nice. And almost there. Stay on target. Almost there. You're too close. Almost there. Almost there. Sort of. Wow. What an active chat tonight, dude.
Yeah, a lot of, which is great. Yep.
It is great. Yep. I love it. No problemo at all. No complaint at all. I know my buddy FKH is there, Tim. So, Tim, thank you for being here tonight with us, buddy. Appreciate you. Claude Salling. Hey. The great JT Kirk. I probably forgot to shout him out. But do you think I would have got him? JT Kirk.
Well, shout out again. Yep.
He's worth it. And Tony Stark joined the as a membership earlier. Thank you again, buddy, for that. Thank you all. That's everyone. Make sure nobody popped in and surprised me. Okay, everybody. Oh, Cinema Gulp popped. Hey, Cinema Gulp. What's up,
Cinema
buddy?
Gulp.
Good to see you. Thank you for popping in there. Yeah, we're just getting out. We did a celebration of 1,500 episode celebration earlier today, and now we just did this our clubhouse. So I want to thank you all for being here with us tonight. It really means a lot to me. And hey, look, we'll see if join us for all the things I just announced, including Saturday Night Star Trek. So everyone, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much, and clobber on, my friends. You there?
The word is given.
Like, this thing's really messed up.
Oh, we're still live.
Groovy.
My buttons weren't working on there.
You have to set an example even in the face of stupidity. Now, everybody that reads comic books knows that Kirby's Silver Surfer is the only true Silver Surfer.
I just love clobbering time.